And we're on.
Yeet.
Oh my god.
You
Alright.
hit the fucking button.
Yeah, recap.
John, I said dumbasses, shut up. I was specifically talking to you.
Shots.
So,
You know I don't
Anyway.
listen to such things.
Last time we just finished up the dragon cave fight, so we're butchering some creature bodies for scales and tails and all sorts of things. Do a little investigation of the cave's areas. Ashta found a scroll underneath a pillow on a humanoid-sized bed in one of the caverns. Tried to open it up and read it, failed a wisdom save, which was great. Couldn't read it. Rosalind went to take a look with her rune eyes and didn't have to make a wisdom save. So, yeah, we've got assumptions. Anyway, she's never seen this language before, and it's difficult to parse the meaning, and it's over-complex in its use of the language. Conrad likened it to trying to read Shakespeare as a 6-year-old. But she's holding on to that, so we're gonna revisit that later.
Oh, well, fuck, hey.
Yeah. We also found a shawl that apparently, according to Thorn, smells quote-unquote unnatural. It looks like it might fit a humanoid, maybe something around Rosalind's size, but broader maybe, around the shoulders. We kept that just in case we could figure something out, parse something from it later. And we found a hippogriff baby! It's injured and unconscious, and we fished it out of the toilet it was unfortunately hidden in, and cleaned it up and healed and cured it, and one of Ashta's squad carried it back to the Citadel because he had gauntlets and animal handling proficiency, and if it woke up and lashed out, he'd be able to be okay. But it still hasn't woken up as of the end of last session. It's still asleep. By the way, we found out a little bit after that point that Ashta had a little bit of a nosebleed lingering, and it was black blood. So, worrying.
Of course.
We headed back, and there's a full-blown dwarven bash on the upswing. It could last up to a week from, like, past historical occurrences and knowledge. We don't know. But we rested for the night rather than joining in. And the Fane found a seed of Ix in Ashta's mind. Probably what the nosebleed was from, and probably related to that wisdom save and that scroll. The Ix are dormant, can't grow without being fed, probably negative emotions, worrying, but also can't be eliminated. We're gonna need the expertise of more Fane. By the end of the session, we had not figured it out yet, but we're gonna continue to work on it with clusters, and we tried to talk to Orizur and Lucerne, but he didn't have any hints there. Rayla made an offer to take on that Ix. Ashta refused. So, unless we can find some other solution, right now the only options we have right in front of us are leave it and hope it doesn't grow, unlikely, or we try to excise it, and that's maybe the equivalent of lobotomy memory-wise, and we don't know what might be taken. So we're just holding off for right now, trying to explore other options. But anyway, Ashta paid for his armor, we got some emergency raised dead diamonds, sold some stuff, and Xenia worked on butchering the big dragon. And the dragon anatomy of the, what was it, bronze?
Brass.
Was it brass?
Bronze?
I think
it was
we've done this every time. We
It's
did
brass.
this last time.
It's brass,
Okay,
because I got
thank
it
you.
wrote.
Brass. Anyway, the brass dragon anatomy is all screwed up. There's nerves around the spinal column instead of inside it. There's shard of obsidian in the breastbone. There's stringy stuff inside. Anyhow, that shard of obsidian doesn't look good, and it's similar to Ix in feeling, and that is pretty much where we left off last time.
Also, 2 things really fast. 1, why is everything that we find damaged and broken? And 2, of course, the seed of X is going to end up in the person of negative emotions embodiment.
Yep.
Of course.
We attract everything we are. 2, it's Ashta.
That's a mood. She's not wrong. They're not wrong. Oh my god, they're not wrong.
Yeah.
and for our one viewer who's wondering who that laugh was, that is Tanya. Oh, potentially join.
Yeah, who
I don't
even
know if
knows
I'm
if
a-
anybody's watching this? Aside from us.
I think we have a single viewer.
Hey, I'm watching this and I believe in us.
So whoever this person is.
Get out of here,
I know
David
we
from
got,
Camp Camp.
I know we got 4
What?
subscribers yesterday. I don't know if they're watching.
Oh, really?
What
How?
the fuck?
Yeah.
Why?
Damn.
Interesting.
Why?
Okay.
I
They
know
like
all
us.
3 of them.
Okay,
Oh.
so we know why.
Well, they went,
Bragg-
oh, hang
'cause
on,
Bragg-
this- no, maybe.
Anyhow.
So-
Maybe.
The fuck
As we
is
begin?
happening?
There were a
I don't
couple
know.
things that were being left until Sky returned. For example,
Aw.
what's going to be happening with the flame and sleep sack of the brass dragon.
Yes, I currently have them in my inventory.
But I think I removed 2 red dragon flame sacks because they were sold.
Yes.
But as for now, I believe we left off with everyone ready for the long rest, correct? Or no?
I believe so.
Or was it just
Almost.
after Xenia finished butchering?
I think it was just after the butchering was done. Rosalind has
Okay.
not picked up her armor yet. That's for the end of the day.
Alright. It's about... Xenia would have finished butchering like an hour before the armor would have been ready. So you could get back to the house and take a shower.
Get all that blood off. Put the
Get a
blood
couple
somewhere.
get a couple looks as you kind of like step out the door for a start. But no one questions you.
Hey, she's walking out of the butcher's place.
Covered in blood.
Well then, you gonna question a person covered in blood?
Okay.
I just killed the butcher.
Also a possibility.
A couple of people are a little bit paranoid, making notes in their own mind on her appearance, their appearance, but not approaching. Just in case a
just give,
guard
like-
comes by with questions.
They give white people smiles to anyone who looks them in the eye.
I love it. White people smiles. It's such a...
Alright, so you return. You notice you have like a small collection of young children in the front yard watching Ashta and Rosalind spar. And as you kind of step into the house, they just give you a look and don't acknowledge it.
Me too.
Evening ale.
Was that... Oh, right, the dragon.
Yes.
Are my buckets still at the butcher's with the weird stuff?
Bring them with you.
Probably at least the 3 weird things at least, like the dragon muscle that I took out, the obsidian shard, and the chest's cavity fibers, because those were all a little fucky.
Then yeah, you could have pairs holding each of them, yeah.
Just
Damn,
3 buckets
82%.
of weird.
How much meat do we have off that thing? Jesus Christ.
We butchered 82% of it.
I know,
82%
I'm reading the party loot. That's fucking
I would
insane.
not
Yeah.
recommend. I would not
Weird.
recommend eating it.
We are not eating it,
Oh,
no.
don't eat it.
Don't
No,
feed
why?
it to anything either, just in case.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not.
40
Okay, yeah.
liters of low quality slurry, 1 Aquarius insect repellent.
Oh yeah, you guys also have an Aquarius. Not in the bag, you just have.
Yeah, she's there. Yeah, Zion's
Also-
gonna just wash up.
Did I not sell the gray dragon scales?
I guess
Oh.
not.
I guess not, eh? Huh.
You sold some of them, not all of them.
Oh, fuck, eh?
Or we were keeping some for something.
Armor. People
Yeah.
for armor.
Something enchanting based.
Yeah.
Alright.
But
Alrighty.
once all that's complete, it takes about an hour to feel confident that you're clean. And eventually, I assume Esther rattles around inside the vase enough to be requested to come
Xenia will try and, Xenia doesn't know how to get... Xenia thinks they know how to get people out.
out. How do you do it?
My brain went stick the hand in, but my logic went that won't work.
Well, what are you doing then?
Xenia will, try and... try and like open it to the house, but they're not in an area to open it to the house.
They are not.
Conrad,
No.
Yep. Yeah,
would spider climb work on the walls inside the house?
spider climb works on any walls you want.
Good. Can I crawl out?
Zena's gonna like go outside and just be like, Esther wants out.
Esther's just gonna crawl out.
We tipped
Ah!
ISO.
Oh,
That
this would have been
works too.
This would have been so much better if I was covered in blood.
Let me out.
You got out, so we can tip people out. Noted.
I'm fairly certain I remember us getting Caius out once that way.
Yeah,
That was
you
also
just,
when we had less stuff in it.
when you tip it, you're able to do it, but at the same time, I wouldn't advise it. Aquarius has set up everything rather nicely, and I think everything would break.
Yeah, I don't want that box of Citadel Monopoly to just fall out of that.
Well,
That's in there now.
Mm.
Yeah,
Added
Elemental Connect 4 would not be good,
No,
especially with
okay.
those moving pieces.
Also, I have buckets of stuff. You're gonna want to take a look at it. Not touch it, just take a solid look at some of the stuff I found.
Let me see.
Rosalind peers over and
Artsy.
immediately regrets it.
yep. So which one you showing them first?
The obsidian wait. 1 second. The obsidian shard.
Okay. Good choice. You see Xenia pull out basically,
Oh, Xenia's not touching
Uh,
it.
yeah, like a L, effectively. More like a beaker, I guess. With this spike-shaped piece of obsidian, probably. It's horrible and has like these like purple veins like etched into the surface.
Jeez.
This-
That's disgusting.
I can't touch it. We shouldn't touch it. My Fane was telling me there's Ix stuff, like, related to it. Oh yeah, here's this too, and Xenia just shows him the muscles.
Yep. You see basically a bucket full of tangled wires that are all black and dripping.
What is that?
Those are muscles.
Those don't look healthy at all.
Oh yeah,
Old dragon didn't look healthy at all.
that dragon was really fucked up on the inside and the out.
Should we even just... Why are we keeping these?
I can
Study it.
burn it.
No. Why don't
Well,
we?
then-
Forza did request pieces to research from.
Oh dear.
Waiting for someone to say that, but...
Yep.
We can take samples and not keep the entire bucket.
We're not touching it any more than we have to.
No.
Tweezers and scissors.
No. The bigger the sample, the more research we can get from it. Oh yeah, and the chest cavity. It shows the fibers.
Yeah, and you pull out what looks like wires, but much thinner. I think thick noodles versus the little string ones from Shelly. So yeah, they're about the same color too.
Squidding
It's like
past it.
Well, we can at least. The Fane
It's
are,
like it
my
was
Fane are still
puppeteering.
busy inspecting themselves in my mind, but once they're done, I can let Orizer know at least the immediate visual of what we have.
Esther, do you
Yeah.
want to give your Fane a question if there's anything that blocks thought-based something or other at all?
I'll give them a tap just to see.
Basically, is there any sort of chest we can put this in that'll keep it not affecting what's around it?
Alright, so I'll give a tap.
You feel them wake up in your mind. About now, each of your Fane diagnostics would have been completed. So, Sky, your Fane wake up and they inform you that you are clear of Ix. And basically they tell you that there's a couple of spells that can do the trick, as well as things that can be enchanted to do similar things.
What kind of spells, brother?
Roll an Arcana check. And if you want, you can use a Fane point to get advantage with that.
But basically, the like thing of lead or whatever doesn't work.
No, I know. Just what do I click again?
Arcana.
No, I'm asking Conrad to clarify that.
Oh, say the
There we
question again.
go.
Like the kind of like layer of lead or like how many feet of dirt or whatever doesn't have anything like that.
We'll see if she can figure it out.
Well, I'm saying for like if Fane were to send
Did it
things.
roll?
Arcana.
They don't. Yeah, yeah. Roll Arcana with advantage.
Did it
and
not
yeah, they
roll?
don't. Oh, is it not letting?
Don't see it.
Huh?
Make sure you're on. There we go.
There.
There
Not
it
double
is.
advantage, but
It's still the first thing.
No, I have advantage already on it.
from.
It's my proficiency, one of my proficiencies.
That's not how proficiency works.
Why? I don't understand.
Proficiency increases your bonus, doesn't give you advantage.
Oh, well, fuck.
If you mouse over it, see how you rolled a 10 and then plus
Oh,
3.
fuck. I see what I clicked wrong now.
It's all good. So yeah, Devin, they don't have any knowledge of this line, so we're trying to see if combination can figure it out of
All right.
Esther and the Fane.
There, sorry.
It's all good. Still 17, so.
Oh, well, hard to eat.
So they tell you the one spell. Let me see if I can get the proper name. Oh, there's another roll.
I did the proper one, I'm sorry.
Okay. Give me a second just to find the proper, because it's got one of those fancy wizard names in it.
A mood.
Alchemins, whatever.
Yeah, it's tiny chest.
Tiny
It's
chest.
what?
Something tiny chest.
Yeah. Liamun's secret chest, which is a 4th level spell, which basically you create like a replica of a chest, as well as a full size chest. And using the replica, you can summon that chest from the ethereal plane and shunt it back towards it. So if you guys don't want to touch it, that's one way to store it.
How long does it last?
Brother?
So the chest, by itself lasts 60 days.
Alright.
That you can summon it as many times as you want. But every day after that, there's a chance that the spell ends.
And for the stuff inside it,
Lost to the ethereal plane. Well,
Non-existent.
not to lost. It's basically the chest remains where it is, which is the ethereal plane.
and hypothetically, if you had someone who could hop in the ethereal plane,
Now the problem is, where in the ethereal plane are you pushing the chest?
I'd imagine the same spot the replica is from. No, is that not how it works?
It might be just wherever you last sent it back to the ethereal if you're being logical about that, but in the end it's really up to Conrad.
Arcana check was not high that answer.
Long story short, we have a chest. We can yoink it from the ethereal, and then we
You have to
yeet
learn
it
the spell
back.
first.
Oh, holy frick. The components of the spell? Material? It's an exquisite chest, 3 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet, constructed from rare materials worth at least 5,000 gold pieces, and a tiny replica made from the same materials worth at least 50 gold pieces.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
fuck right off with that until we get back from that castle.
Let's-
Speaking of which, let's go.
Okay, but what are we doing with this stuff right now?
I don't know. I'm not the
We
one
can
who
get a
harvested
lead
it.
we can get a lead box for it, put it in a bag of holding. I think
The lead box doesn't do much. Not really worth the time.
But it's still something.
get it
at
in
least
a
it
box
won't-
instead of a bucket.
So is a block of wood.
At the very
Well, at least it won't
we'll just-
leak.
We'll just find a way to contain it and put it in the bag of holding, as was said. I imagine that a demiplane would at least hold on to this. And if the shard, as you say, was embedded in the dragon, well, presumably then, if it was placed there, inserted, I don't know, then there's a kind of deliberation implied. I don't think that it's just going to radiate Ix energy as fire radiates heat. At least I would hope not.
Well, we're all
Brady,
standing near it
gives
right
you the
now.
heads up. I'm not saying us standing here for the next 10 minutes around it isn't going to do anything, but I am saying leaving it in the plane with other items in it could be a risk.
That's true. It's in the glass. I don't think it's doing anything. I could keep that on my person.
Rosalind, are
Let's-
your Fane done their diagnostics?
I believe so.
Do you want to send Orzer a message about this and ask him if he has a way for us to get it to him?
Well, it's worth a try. She'll send Orzer the basic Fane with the basic rundown of here's what was pulled out of the dragon, here's what it looks like. Include visuals. This is a text with pictures message. And any advice for the situation as we need to contain it until we can reach you, and we are heading in a different direction first.
And let's try and set this over the course of a couple seconds. And then you get the answer back that he's never seen anything like this, so he can't give you a certain answer. All his spells that could work like this are teleport based, which he's trying to avoid. He mentions the fact you have 2 bags of holding. You could potentially, as well as like a extra pocket dimension in the vase. So you could transfer most of your stuff into that, and then
That is
put
actually
the rest inside of.
that is actually something that I was thinking of as well, because
That'd
just
be the
shift everything into one of the holding bags, because we got the bag of holding and we've got the handy haversack. So
Let's does the haversack or the bag of holding, do they have different capacities?
Yeah, the bag is more.
Okay. Then yeah, we can put the stuff in the haversack.
which is also on Ashta. Just pile everything on him. Absolutely, this is a wonderful idea. What can go wrong?
Yeah, but just looking in the loot, like, as long as we give Pierce a bap on the nose if he goes for any of the slurry or the copper. I mean, other stuff like the oil flask, the insect repellent, you can just stack up on like the thing on the fireplace.
Potentially, I don't want to put too much in there because, well,
It's
just
just
because it's hard to get to. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, even just the stuff like the tents, I guess.
Okay.
And the slurry could probably do to go in there because we might just do enchanting stuff in there.
All right. Then let's go ahead and we'll just spend some time shifting things around, I guess.
Also, we can just dump it all out once we get the castle.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, there's not quite enough room, so we're gonna have to stick Aquarius in the bag of holding. No.
No.
The mood.
All right.
I mean, it's not the recommended way to do things, but do what you want.
No,
I'm gonna say
I mean,
we're not. You know we're not. We'll reorganize and we'll put all of the Ix stuff contained in the haversack then. And
I mean,
Rosalind
if we
will-
ever captured Leo, we could always put her in there, cause you know the cat would be out of the bag.
Oh, we've met Leo and it's a him.
Also, can we just like borrow some like wooden boxes from some of the dwarves? The dwarves.
I don't think it's
We have the
borrow. I
chest-
think it might be just buy.
Yeah.
We have the
but,
chest with the
Gotham.
broken copper we can empty. Wait, what if we give the broken copper to the person who makes the armor to get... Like, what if he wants to melt down the copper for some bullshit? I don't know.
I'm sure he has better places to get copper.
But then
What
we
if you
can get
give
a
it to the-
chest.
Right? You see,
We could give the broken copper to the dragon.
yeah, I was gonna say
Oh my
Rayla
God.
basically sticks her head out and says the same thing.
I'm sure
Yeah.
Pierce will appreciate it.
And it would keep him away from the more important things.
Okay, yeah, I'll give him
Put it in
a
a
snack.
yeah. Put it in a pile and it could be his treats.
That works. Okay, and then we get a chest out of it.
All right, pile what we can in the
Okay.
chest and then stuff the chest into the bag if that works.
I mean, the
I don't know.
bag's already in a bag. Sorry, the
It's
chest
like-
is already in a bag, so.
Okay.
It's like putting the fucking pillow back into the pillowcase. Just fucking go in.
I'll
Yeah,
put
sort of.
I'll put the dragon stuff in the party loot so I don't forget it's off. It's on my sheet.
Alright. Yeah, it takes about a few minutes, maybe half an hour to get all the stuff prepared. Kind of just have like an assembly line of just passing it to one another. Pyrrhus is happy when it rains copper pieces, basically.
Aquarius, not so much.
We'll take it over. We'll take the hut over to that empty area, set it up, go inside, and be like, "We brought something for you."
Okay. As a reminder, it takes about an hour to get to that area, but if you'd like, yeah.
I suppose. Maybe we'll do it later. I don't know.
Yeah, it happens at some point.
Yeah, when we get there. Yeah, also, instead of just raining all the copper down, maybe just throw a few down, stick the rest in the bag of holding,
A fish in the fishbowl.
Yeah.
and
Occasional
Yeah.
goodies. Those are
yes,
those are
and
crackers.
we can just kind of keep like a little bag to leave on the banister that Aquarius can do first when he's being a good boy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you might want to keep it as treats, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Here's good boy snacks.
Yes. I love it.
Best boy snacks.
So, you take the time to get that done. Each of your diagnostics are finished, and the rest of you do come up clear.
Okay.
Take a bit of extra time with you, Xenia, just to make extra sure that with the Raven Queen's influence is not something fucked going on. But still comes close.
No X?
Yeah, no X.
Hey, no X.
Right, so. I assume you guys go Rosalind's armor.
Yep.
Mhm.
And it is well fitted and exactly as you drew.
Though I will note that she does not know how medium armor goes on. She probably needs some help.
Ashto will help.
What?
Ashto knows exactly how medium armor works.
Yeah, she's just like, I've only ever trained or worn light. How does this
There's
layer?
a lot more straps.
Yeah, I noticed. But some of them seem to cross each other. What is happening here?
Okay, well, no, you have to put that one first. You basically have to work downwards, right? Spend,
Typically it's work. Typically it's work upward.
I meant with the straps, but yeah.
Oh, one way or another. Eventually,
eventually
she gets the track.
It gets fitted.
Yep.
Yeah, you can go ahead and rate that on your sheet. Careful with the mic there, Sky.
And her mage
Sorry.
armor fizzles out.
Right. So it's getting about level of that you guys know you should rest soon. You don't really have a great time it is. But you're starting to get tired. But you can hear voices and sounds of celebration start to slowly ramp outside.
Rosalind's not that tired.
We still need to see the prince, don't we?
Yes, and if he's at that celebration, then that could be a moment
Place
to
to
talk
catch
to
him.
him. Yes. We should at least go find out.
Yeah, take a quick look and see what it's all about.
All right, come on. Rosalind, party animal. Not quite, but she's definitely got that social streak, so, you know.
Do you think it would be possible to let Aquarius out?
Well, I can...
Possible.
8 hours seeming, and I don't need to concentrate on it. I haven't used it today.
I have the, we
It
Can we-
does
should we
take
cast-
an hour to get there and an hour back unless wait, Aquarius can turn into something and fly out, I forgot. Let's find somewhere
As-
secluded and let her out and she can join in.
Ashto, Esther, you're gonna keep an eye on her.
I know.
This is obviously joining in the festivities as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're with the rest of the party. You're not in the base right now.
Good. Okay, good.
I'm serious. You can't just let her go off.
I don't plan to.
I don't think any of us do. We're not really sure what Rosalind would do.
I'm sorry, you're not really sure what I would do? What?
During the festivities, I'm doing that. Also, I had to listen to something, so
What?
Mm,
I put my headphones down, so I'm not really sure of the context. Actually,
okay.
To ask, but okay.
Like,
Smooth, John.
yay!
Flawlessly done.
Sorry, I had to make
Charisma
a
of
call.
20.
Jesus Christ.
Amazing.
Okay.
You know, if you didn't say it, I wouldn't even have noticed.
Alright,
Yay!
wanna find some back alley or something where not many people are, just quiet little corner. Pull out the
Phone.
vase and be like,
Fantasy
Aquarius,
equivalent of
would
a
you
phone booth.
would you like to come out?
You can actually like stick your head in the vase, and she can look up to you. And she goes like, "Oh, I'm." You see, she's ruffling and cleaning the feathers of the baby griffin inside the vase. And I mean, I could. Paris, do you think you could take care of your little sibling here? And which she kind of responds with just like sure. Just like walks over and the cat thing where he just wraps himself around the very tiny griffin.
I shall just check it. Rayla, do you want to keep an eye on those two, or would you prefer going out as well?
Well, no. Can you handle if a fight breaks out without me? Think it'll be okay?
He like grabs her and drops her above the vase.
She starts hovering there and goes, "Gravity doesn't work that way on me, right?"
She does have wings.
Yes, but the intention was clear.
Well, if you want to get rid of me that bad, fine. And she just like sinks into the...
I mean, I would say that it fell short, but that would just be in poor taste now, wouldn't it?
He looked over and was like,
small,
That's multi-layered.
a small green finger gun points to
Ashton looks over with it kind of going over his head.
but
Anyhow, does Aquarius fly on out with wild shape because we're not... It's either that or she's finding a way to climb.
oh yeah, no, she just turns herself into like a sparrow, flutters out.
Alright. I think we're going to do the seeming trick again. You are with Esther specifically. We should probably stick with the dwarven guys just because it'll blend in a little bit better than many. So. And she's just gonna go ahead and cast a seeming on Aquarius specifically. So Aquarius now looks like a dwarf, maybe on the taller side for the race. So she's probably maybe just under the 5-foot mark, maybe a little bit taller. I don't remember how tall Aquarius is specifically, and there's a 1-foot window. Yeah, I don't have any specifics for the appearance in mind.
Probably just like generic dwarf, like red hair, braided on the back.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe freckles or something. I don't know.
Anyone else have any requests?
I don't think anyone else is seeming.
Yeah, no.
No.
Everybody else is themselves. It's only the one.
All right. So,
And
Aquarius
actually-
first turns into human form, genasi form, and then gets the illusion cast over.
If anyone asks you're a foreigner, it's why you don't know much about this place.
She kind of nods and goes, "I shouldn't do the accent again, should I?"
No.
Probably not.
Unless you've gotten better since the last time.
No, I think I'm slowly sounding more like actually.
Maybe give it some practice later.
I don't think accent work is my primary purpose right now. thankfully I at least know a little bit of Dwarven.
That will help. Potentially. So, we're gonna go ahead and head out and... Well, it's not any specific or hard goals, just stick with Esther and maybe enjoy yourself a little.
Yep, you see, like, grab your hand, Esther, and says, shall we?
I believe so. I'll see you all later.
Have
Have
fun.
fun.
I don't have any DMPCs making comments now.
Right, it's gone. Of course, it's gone.
They're written all over Rosalind's face, if that helps at all.
Fair, okay. Oh,
Esther,
can you guys hear?
Hmm?
Can you guys hear music?
No?
Mm-mm.
Oh wait, there's something just... faintly. You've got disembodied spirits on.
Just didn't know if I was playing for you guys. Okay.
Very, very faintly. It's quiet. I barely hear anything, and I don't think anything's gonna be audible on the recording.
Okay. Yeah, so in that case, you guys step out into the streets, and you see basically just a lot of dwarves shoving each other, a couple with drinks in their hands, stalls out. Sorry, a lot of food stalls out. Generally just having a good time, but not congregating in any one area that you see at least. So, what would you guys like to do?
Do you guys want to go first, or?
Well, we do need to find the prince.
Yeah.
The prince it is.
Do you want to send Thorn on a quick scout?
Well, that
Around
could
the
be
town?
that could be a start. And she's, yep, gonna send Thorn kind of up one street, down the next, wherever the thick of the party seems to be. I know you said not congregating in one area, but aiming towards those, staying away from the quieter sections. And looking specifically for that, that Genasi height and hair.
Alright.
Yeah.
And you do get a roll investigation check, each of you. Or a perception check.
Alright, this is Thorn's. That's a 22 for Thorn. I'll do Rosalind's
Alright.
too, just cause, but she's a 3.
Everyone in the party doing perception?
Yeah, whoever wants to.
18.
Alright.
Let me have a sec.
Well, you're elsewhere, so.
Am I?
Are you separating from the group or staying with them?
Oh, I thought I was staying with
Yeah,
them
both
until
of
after
hers.
we found the prince.
Sure.
Okay, that's a.
Mhm.
Yeah, Clarice is gonna follow your.
Oh, Esther's holding her hand. She ain't going nowhere.
Just go ahead and roll. Kais, you can be perception as well.
Yeah, because Esther would like to.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just give me a second. My
reroll.
computer's being a bit of a butt right now.
Perception. 8.
I don't know what Rosalind is distracted by, but she's distracted by something. I don't know, maybe she's fiddling
Probably
with the
just
strap
trying to get
on her-
comfortable in the armor.
Yeah.
Definitely, you guys have a few false alarms of, like, just finding Genasi and thinking of someone else. But eventually, one kind of, like, flies way overhead and goes to the crowd and sends you guys an image of what looks to be about the same guys congregated for the tests for where in the army you get placed. Discussing with between two women in armor.
I'm gonna
One
have,
of which you recognize as his sister.
Okay. I'm gonna have Thorn, Rosalind's gonna have Thorn send, Ronir. Ronir, a quick little thought message of, we would like to speak with you if we may. Do you have a moment?
So Thorn immediately sends you back an image of Ronir jumping about 3 feet into the air. And he looks around for Thorn and kind of glances at him and sends a message back of, if this is how it is, then sure thing. I mean, find me when you can.
All right. And gonna kind of get from Thorn the basic route there.
Simple enough to do.
Alright, it's this way.
And let's roll me a quick D100 just for what happens in a way there.
Do I dare? Or does somebody else want to take it this time?
I'm cursed. I'll do it.
Ariel, you're the
Wait,
one.
what are we doing?
A D100
Hey,
is
Devin,
either
you got a
okay,
74.
74.
Okay. Oh, I'm so glad Ash rolled that.
Oh,
Okay.
no, that's not a good sentence.
Ash, as you're kind of like kind of leading the way, you have a pretty good idea of where you're trying to get to, especially with Lauren's help.
Oh, Jesus Christ,
Eventually,
what
this young dwarven lady, she walks up to you, Ash, and she grabs you. And she goes, "Oh, hold on there, dear."
Oh no.
Whoever rolled it, man.
Oh.
Does Kaya do this? Is it in plain view for everyone to see?
Oh
We're
yeah.
all like in a groove.
Oh dear, but wait,
Kaya's
where does
relishing
she?
in this. Kaya's
No,
She
no,
grabs one
definitely
like
relishing
the
in
wrist,
this.
like not hard, but kind of just like, "Oh, hold on there, dear. Do I have a moment?"
He's kind of just like
I give
still.
Esther a look
Esther's looking at Caius like, do you see this?
with the look of someone who's about to go on like Space Mountain at Disneyland, like who saw it for the first time, like
Oh yeah.
yes.
That's a very specific look. Well done there, John.
I like to think that Esther and Caius can communicate solely by looks. It's like that kind of friendship.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Insane,
And-
man.
You know, the mind aliens, like telepathics. Anyways,
Love.
so she kind of like holds on and says, "Sorry, do you have a moment to spare? I seem to have lost my soulmate. You look very similar to him."
Sorry, seem to have
Oh,
lost my.
dear.
Soulmate.
Lost.
How uncomfortable does Ashton look right now?
Yeah, how does
I'm
that
gonna
work?
see.
What?
I'm gonna have him roll a deception just to see if he throws up in his mouth or not.
Can I insight this?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
too.
He is so uncomfortable.
Oh, on the one hand, entertainment. On the other hand, pity.
Esther's gonna look
As you
at
can see,
Rosalind.
Ashton, she doesn't look totally sober.
Esther is
Oh,
gonna
no.
look at Rosalind and just give it one more minute, please.
Xenia's gonna telepathic Sasha and just ask, dude.
Caius has put his hand over his mouth to keep from corpsing,
hold
just
on.
from laughing. Just
What is Aquarius's reaction to
Xenia
this?
was saying
She's just got a
something.
big smile.
Xenia was
Yeah.
saying
Sorry,
something.
Xenia, go ahead.
Xenia's gonna telepathic Sasha and just go,
This
dude,
is
you
amazing.
need some help?
There's just a quick like, wouldn't say no.
Okay. Xenia's going
And you
to...
see, like, before Xenia comes up, she just like slowly puts like a hand on his stomach and goes, "Oh my, you definitely seem like the type who could carry me away."
Okay, Rosalind's
Xenia
stepping
is-
forward to help now.
Yep, Xenia's
she's-
tapping
Do we
themselves
get? Do we,
She's-
no.
No,
Just wait
Rosalind's
until we
gonna
get
step
the
forward
hand
to
on
his
ass,
side
and
and
then
just-
we'll step in.
No, Rosalind's gonna put it like hook an arm around his and say, "Oh, we were on our way somewhere. I'm sorry," and
I-
just start towing him through the crowd.
Okay, roll a persuasion check, Roz.
Persuasion?
Oh my
Hell
God.
yes. 16.
You know,
Oh my god!
she's not gonna let him
You see her
go.
kind of pout and goes, "Well, come on, bring us better company."
What?
You want...
Oh my god!
What?
Oh, ma'am, you want
Oh.
some better company?
What did she say?
And she looks up. "Oh, come on, three's better company."
Oh God. Okay.
I love.
Oh my god!
At,
Oh!
wait,
Do we?
at this,
Do Esther?
It's just the
Yes.
Johnny Bravo thing.
one sec, Esther's gonna slide up, pulling Aquarius along. By the way, look at the lady and go, "I'm sorry, my dear. We already have 4," and then continue leading away.
By that case.
You see the eyebrow raise and go, "Oh my." So you four have fun.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh my god. Oh
Once
my
we're
god.
out of sight, Rosalind
Oh
will
my
let go,
God.
and I am so sorry.
I
I am so not.
Oh my
Your
god! That was the
expression was
greatest
funny,
thing I've ever
but I am
seen.
sorry.
That was amazing.
I need to
I'm
go for a walk.
sorry, but
No,
that was
no,
amazing.
no.
We have to find
We
Ronir.
need-
We have to find Ronir.
Do you need a moment? How long do you need?
Did she? Was it? How? I have so many questions,
Alright.
Asha.
You're not very
Guys.
subtle with ladies, are you?
Guys, Asha, guys, we've seen Asha like this. Don't fuck with, don't be assholes.
Do you need a moment?
I
And
know,
do you
but
want
it's funny.
anybody to go with you?
Just keep.
If anyone deserves to be punched in the face, it's me, and I don't mind.
Like he's not looking at anyone in the eyes right now. He's just like, let's find the prince. Let's go find the prince and go. And he keeps like walks in the direction they were going.
Someone else give me a one.
I will.
Oh god,
Aw.
yes. 78!
78.
Fuck, I love
What would
the
you have,
D100s.
what
They
would
make
you
me
have
so
done
happy.
if it had been a double? If it had been another 74?
Oh,
Oh,
Same
oh,
one.
I had something ready for that.
Okay.
Don't worry. Yeah, so Celia, as your seventh round, you're kind of like giving Ashta a bit of room. You see another elf walk up to you and kind of like touch your shoulder and say, "May I have a moment, dear?"
Oh, let's walk and
Oh
talk,
god.
of course, and Dina's just gonna like beckon them in the direction they're already walking.
Oh, for sure. I just wanted to
Oh.
ask you. Sorry, by the way, my name is Simran. I wanted to ask you. You seem like one of those generals that have been celebrated so much. Or is that maybe you?
Oh, yes, we were generals. It's Simran, is it?
Simran, yes.
Yes. Yes, we were. Why do you ask?
Well, see, you have. I was looking for a couple of you, or anyone within the army, really. They do have such a wonderful complexion, and I was wondering if you'd be willing to potentially give a testimonial for this skin cream I have. And it is a little bit magical, and I would like you just to test it.
no,
You should like sort of
no.
pulling out your hand and like pulls out the bottle and puts a little bit on your
Nope.
wrist.
Nope,
God.
no, we're not,
Oh god. Oh god. Here we go.
What do? You teleport?
Where
Okay.
is that?
Where do you teleport?
Yep.
on top of a building.
Where do you teleport?
Beside, like, Rosalind and Ashton just a little bit.
Okay, as a reminder, when you do this, you also turn halfway translucent.
Yeah.
Yep, and he just like his hand stops and goes, "Shall I take that as a no? I mean, the rest of your
gone.
friends could possibly
He's
do
gone.
this."
Oh god.
He's gone.
Okay. We're
Also,
keeping it.
roll me
Let's
one.
go.
Sorry, T20.
Oh no.
We're good.
Oh my
The portal
god.
opens in
That's
the
the
middle.
reason I did it.
Okay,
Nope.
This is such a shit fuck.
successfully fend off the sales.
Oh, my
God.
Can I roll? Can
I
we
wanna
please
roll
roll
too.
more
We
D100s?
all
I
wanna
wanna
roll.
Can I
Everybody.
roll?
More. I want more of this. This is amazing.
All right, let's go with Caius then.
Yes.
Oh, boo. No.
Oh fuck.
Hey,
Here we
we'll
go.
take turns. You can go next. I'll go last.
Yeah, we'll take. Yeah, let me just give me a sec to roll a fucking
Okay.
D100.
Also, really quick, Esther's going to go to Asha. Just, are you sure you're all right?
He got like slightly startled. It's like, yeah, I'm good.
You're lying.
No, I'm fine.
You get flustered very easily by women, don't you?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh fuck.
Oh, honey.
Listen, alright, it's fine.
Oh no, Caius, no.
Oh,
That's a
yes.
7.
Esther will drop the subject, but she's going to be
It's
coming back to
fine.
this later.
Just drop it.
Caius.
God.
By the way, I'm loving these D100s. Y'all are rolling the best possible ones for.
Oh, like, no. Okay,
Caius,
what's
roll
kind
a
of...
deck.
Will it what?
Roll a what?
Roll a deck save. You heard me.
A dexterity
dear
saving
Lord.
throw?
Yeah.
He nearly took.
Amazing. I love this already.
Oh god!
All right.
Okay.
So your wrestler instincts come in for a second as the chair that was about to hit you in the back of the head soars over the top,
Oh my god!
Who the fuck is...
and you turn around,
I turn
and you
around.
see this.
Fucking
You
swung a chair at me.
see General Smokestack, and he's got this big grin on his face. And he's drunk as a skunk, and he goes,
Oh, no.
"Hey, you big purple fucker."
Listen, man, I've had a lot of chairs swung at my head, man. Don't try it.
That's fine. We need to fight. The men have been demanding to see if I'm tougher or if you're tougher.
Oh,
We need to fight.
Me?
Yes, you.
Oh, okay?
You kind of stand
Alright.
out in a crowd. I'm sorry to inform you.
Esther's
And
going
you
to...
see, you see him like get into like the dude who punches the bear pose and he goes, "Come at me, you fuck."
Hey, I have a suggestion first. Why don't
Okay.
you go and get yourself another drink or maybe 2 or 3? it might make you a little bit trickier to fight. We want
You'll
to
be
make
moving
a
so
challenge.
fast.
No, let's see how this
He kind
plays
of like
out.
puts his hands down and he goes, "Oh, what does that sound like? Any of you
Alright.
generous? Want a drink as well?
Hmm.
What about you,
I will
little
do
dwarf? I don't
another-
recognize you."
I-
And he points towards Query.
We're on another errand right now, but I'm sure that we'll return here and find you when we're done. Give
Oh,
you
we
some time
definitely
to
will.
give you some time to prepare yourself.
Yeah.
I'm ready at any
I-
time, but so is this
yes.
guy, so I need the practice. Fair enough, fair enough.
Oh, God. He swung a chair at me. Smokestack swung a chair at me.
And you see him kind of like stumble away into some of his men that you'd recognize from the fight, and put a hand on each of their shoulders and says, "Let's get more boo."
Okay. Do I really have to fight a drunk guy? Is this
No.
really what I've
No,
scheduled
Listen,
myself
Caius,
for today?
no, Caius,
Caius?
you're fine.
The goal is that he will not remember anything. Ideally. And if he does, then, well, simply
Ideally.
we got a little bit lost and we're unable to find him. So, don't worry about it. Just keep walking.
Let's just hope that
Esther,
he
give-
doesn't.
Esther, give me your deal.
No, I'm not exactly
One qu-
hard to
oh,
spot
no.
out of a crowd.
Yes, but...
Oh,
Like,
fuck
swung a
yes.
chair at me.
Oh no!
Wait, what?
73!
That's probably another person. That's probably
Oh,
another
God.
person.
God, I love D100s. Okay,
Oh, this is great. I love this.
Esther,
Can we do more of this, please?
Esther.
Yes.
So, one of the men from your squad,
Oh no.
Oh no.
first one actually who you showed the aloe to heal with burn marks,
Mm-hmm.
he kind of like walks over and he goes, General Esther, can I bother you for a moment? This one's a bit of a younger one, got a very short beard. You know he's about 20 in human years.
Of course. What is it you need?
Just if I could pull you aside for a second, if that's alright.
Sure. Here. Of course. Do you mind going over with Caius for a second?
We'll wait here for you.
And Aquarius kind of just nods and goes, just gives you a bit of a wink and walks away. You see the soldier kind of like walking over, like 5 feet away from the group. And he kind of like says, like, so I just want to let you know that I think you were fantastic in the battle, and I was wondering, if, and he pulls out a small rose from his bag. I guess, if you're willing to
Oh
spend
no.
the festivities with
Oh.
me?
Oh no.
Baby, you guys!
Aiming for the stars. Good on you, man.
Oh my god!
And
Now it's your turn.
we broke Sky, gave her a second.
Give me a fucking. Oh my god. Okay.
Oh
Oh,
no.
You see a very wonderful sight of Esther's entire face going completely red and her hair flaring up probably an extra several inches as she stares at this.
Oh god.
Because
You see a big smile across his beard.
Esther sets someone on fire with her hair.
Esther, no, the hair can't set anything on fire. But she's gonna,
Oh.
in her panic, she's just feigning to Rosalind. Just please help, please help, please help, please help.
You see him
Tell-
holding the rose, just very, very nervous.
Feign back. Tell him you're already with somebody. You're already on a date. You were holding her hand a moment ago.
Oh,
I looked towards Aquarius and said, "This
That's-
certainly took a turn."
that's incredibly sweet of you, but I happen to already be accompanying someone.
You see this crestfallen look on his face. He goes,
Oh
Critical
no.
hit.
it's like, oh, okay, no worries then. Shouldn't be surprised, I guess. You are very wonderful. I hope you have fun on your date. And he kind of just like puts the rose in your hand and just walks away as quickly.
It's
no.
difficult,
Oh,
but it's for
no.
the best.
You broke that poor man's heart. How dare you?
Hey, you can't just lead him on. You gotta let him down.
It's for the best. It's for
You
the
gotta,
best.
you gotta, you
He'll
gotta.
he'll be all right. It'll heal. He'll
When you
find
walk back to
someone
the party.
else.
Aquarius gives you a small tap on the rear. Says, good job. And holds your hand.
As in,
Kai's is
You
just like,
also-
poor guy.
oh. Esther looks at the rose. She just kind of sighs for a second, and then her hair goes out, and she tucks the rose behind her ear. So now, instead of flaming hair, it's this mass of red curls.
Okay.
Yeah. So she puts the flame of her hair.
Yeah, you couldn't even if you wanted to do like a half buzz so the rose could sit comfortably.
Nah, let's go insane.
All right. I think the last one up is Rosalind. Rosalind.
Oh yes.
4!
He comes. He
I am
comes
the
back.
only one who did not have a 7 anywhere in their number. Everybody else rolled 70-something. Kai's got a 7 outright. What is 4?
Christ.
God, I love the D100. Okay.
Oh no.
Kaya's got a chair swung at him for 7.
Me too.
so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Note, Ash's passive is 17 and Xenia's is 18, I believe.
And Esther will-
I love how you guys are immediately assuming she's about to be attacked, and you're all reminding
Well, the
Conrad
last
you
one that
can
was
see
that roll was a
everything.
chair swung at Caius' head.
I
That's
I
know.
will say
Oh,
it's separated
yeah, the
by
last lo-
separated by sections of 5 for the most
Okay.
part.
All right, so I'm in the first section, for the most
Second,
part.
because 1 is special.
Ah,
Oh God. Okay.
what do I
So
have?
Rosalind,
Yes.
you see something like skitter across the ground towards you, and immediately just like start to crawl up your leg.
Oh no.
Oh no, she's jumping and shrieking. Because,
no.
oh god, there's no
Oh,
other
God.
instinctive reaction.
What's going on? What?
Oh god,
What is it?
God, oh shit.
Esther's gonna immediately swipe for it.
Yeah, she is, I do not know that she has anything magically that she can do, or she'd have focus for.
Esther grabs for
She's
it.
just
Eldritch
jumping and
Blast. Do it.
slapping.
Just make a dexterity check.
Yeah, sure. That'll go great.
Which one?
18!
Okay. So you manage to just kick your leg out at the right moment, and it flies out, and you guys see what looks to be like a half rat, half pigeon, but feral, like across the ground, look at you, and
Oh
just like,
god.
Oh.
Oh god.
and then just
Kill
immediately,
it.
oh okay, I was gonna say jumps to dash to, so yeah, you're just like
Yeah.
to the ground, and it's just like, as it's like wraps on your shoulder and goes, I want to eat that one.
I wouldn't advise it.
Oh my god.
Poop rat.
Esther's gonna pull Rosalind
You okay?
into a hug.
I'm fine.
It's okay.
I'm fine. It just startled. This is ridiculous. I've faced so much worse, but oh my god.
I mean, I'm scared of scorpions, love. I promise
Anything
you,
up-
it's not that bad.
Anything up your leg is no.
How
Esther's just holding Rosalind.
thank goodness that I have different outfit now because I don't want to imagine that going up a skirt. She's
Oh,
now
let's not,
yeah, as a
shall we?
reminder, she's now wearing the boots and trousers thing and the
Right,
split
okay.
skirt over it. So that went up the outside of her pants leg. That
Fair,
was
fair.
lucky for her.
Okay. So, anyone who wants to take a closer look at the thing?
Ash is just
Yeah.
gonna like kick it over.
Esther's gonna light it on fire.
Yeah.
No.
Caius is
Close to here.
inching towards it slightly, just out of curiosity, just
Alright.
like, but keeping his distance.
Nature check.
Ashta and Caius, give me a nature check.
Esther's about
Okay,
to
is-
light it on fire.
Is
Y'all
this
best
related to
hurry.
anything from him?
No, it's
11.
if anything, it's an abomination.
Oh god.
1.
Ash is convinced it's an abomination.
Esther
Abomination.
flicks a fire.
Um, Caius,
He like loads another crossbow bolt. Just I'm not sure.
it is
Whoa,
very
whoa,
dead.
whoa,
It's
whoa.
easy enough to see.
Very dead.
You see a dwarf kind of walk up to you and goes, "Ah, one of the mountain rats got you? Don't worry, they're harmless." And just walk past. It seems to be some kind of like flightless bird, but furry.
Esther's gonna flick a fireball at it.
Ugh.
Like, off the tip of-
Fireball?
No.
Fireball? You have 15-foot
Yes.
fireball?
Christ, no,
Sky,
like,
we
something on
cannot
fire.
enough like stress how important that distinction is.
Like, produce flame, just
Yeah.
flick a little bit of fire
Okay,
at it.
okay. Produce Light makes a bit more sense.
Yeah, no, not fireball.
No,
Yeah.
it didn't.
I played the
didn't-
pyromaniac in the other game. I know how important this distinction is.
Yes.
So yeah, you produce the flame
A
on top. of it, and
firebolt
it just
has
like
someone's
slowly
name.
burns.
A fireball
It
is
smells.
best
Hold on, John.
for it may concern.
It smells like burning garbage. as it burns.
Let's just keep walking.
You really have to set it on fire?
Let's find Ronir. Let's just find.
I think he's just
Okay.
a few streets up that
And
way.
as you guys see him in the distance, who wants to make one last one just to crown it off?
Me.
Go.
I do.
Oh, damn it! I want a
We
better
all
one than
want
that.
to. Me too. I feel disappointed almost.
62.
Don't
Alright.
worry. Don't worry, you don't have to feel disappointed.
Is this
I
for
wanted a
everybody?
better
Oh,
one than
no.
the sad one.
Fuck.
So,
Yeah.
I think I know the
as a
first
reminder,
letter.
Caius and Ashta, you did agility training earlier, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
So, the gaggle of small children
Oh god.
approaches you guys all with pens and papers in their hand and like, oh, it's the generals! It's the generals! Oh my god, it's the generals! And they all just start running towards you and goes, Caius, Ashta! And they all start running towards you.
Caius
Can you
knows what
sign
to
it?
do.
Can you sign it?
Yeah, alright, yeah.
Caius, you immediately like step forward and start taking a handle on these things, and just like one signature, and you give like a wink to another one. And, like she's like 13 in human. She goes like, oh,
Finger
and, like,
gun,
swoons.
you know, the usual.
Does Rosalind see the swoon?
You know, when someone's
Rosalind,
digitation
from your trained eye for swooning.
I'm not
Impressive.
I'm not criticizing it. I'm just Rosalind has this terrible like flashback to her own teenage years and
Yep.
cringe.
She's like,
Yep, and it is.
Yeah,
it is very
Caius
sad.
has a very close hands to his pockets, just in case.
Ashta, you see the one little kid that like kicked you in the shins earlier, and I walk up to you with like this pout in his face. He goes, pulls out this like wooden sword and goes, "Can you sign it?" Little brothers.
I love it.
Any
so
insight if it's
much.
actually for his little brother?
Oh, but it's
Go for
not
it.
for his little brother.
I
be
almost
honest.
want to
Tsundere.
insight
Hold
this too, but I'm gonna let him do it.
Let's just roll.
Just roll. Okay, I'll roll. 22.
Oh no, I meant me.
Oh, okay.
Okay, 2. Yeah. He's not telling the truth.
No, obviously.
Lying.
Alright. And
brother.
Ash just like closes his eye. And what's your brother's name? As he picks up this wooden.
Please, something stupid.
Sammy.
Aww, Esther's giving
Aw.
Ashta the biggest grin.
I assume that either one of the he grabs one of the pens offered to Caius or something.
Oh yeah, there's like 3 being shoved in your face right now, anyways.
Alright, yep, he does it and he's like
Caius is like hoisting one of the kids up, like showing the arms. He's been through this
Yeah,
before.
he-
He knows the whole route.
I'm gonna roll performance actually, Kaius.
Alright, cool.
Yeah, Ashta. I assume you sign it. What do you sign it? Like, what do you write?
Don't be a dick. Signed Ashta.
18. Yeah.
Yeah, Kaius,
Hit me
you're
in-
giving these kids the show of a lifetime. They are loving it.
Of course.
Oh yeah, Esther's gonna take the rose out of her hair and let it reignite and then tuck it into her belt.
And Esther, you do see a couple of the other ones that come towards you, and they seem to be like the Ronir type in comparison. And one of them actually opens up a spell book and says, I know this is supposed to be meant for special things, but I didn't have anything else I could have you sign. Could you just do something, please?
Oh, of course. Esther will kneel down and she'll write in the book, "You will be one of the greatest wizards that you can be as long as you try."
Alright. So, Ashta, what are you signing on the sword?
mm,
Don't be a dick. Hit my shins again and I'll kill you. Signed Ashta.
Even my sins again, I dare you.
Spite is a dish best served with a stick.
mm. I'm really thinking on this now, hold on.
Oh, life advice from Ashta.
You see the kid just kind of like standing there cross-armed with a little bit of red in his face and just hurry up.
Spite is best cooked as a roast.
He'll just do a good swing, Sammy, and just dash AL.
And Rosalind, in the meantime, is gonna ask this kid, "So, does your little brother also want to, defend damsels?"
Well, you know, I taught him everything I could, and
Mm.
he's doing alright. He's not quite old enough to do it yet, though.
And Asha hands down the sword.
He kind of looks at it and just, you see the blush configuration. He says, "Thank you." He shoves it into like the makeshift sheath on his
What was
belt.
written on it?
Runs away.
Caius starts having like electricity crackle from his hands from the ring, just showing all the kids like.
And eventually Ronir makes his way over to you guys and says, "Alright, kids, out of the way." And he like gives like a playful kick to one of them in the butt. And they kind of like, "Oh no, it's the prince! It's evil prince!" And they run away.
Aw.
Oh,
They're being playful.
Okay.
yeah, I know.
Yes, good.
No, of course.
Frequent
He
game?
literally said the playful plan.
Yeah.
And he kind of nods. He goes, "You know, a couple of them I recognize. They're little troublemakers, but they're sons of nobles and the like."
Well, that is the
Troublemakers
best
indeed.
to be troublemakers.
And he kind of like points at the one and says, "By the way, Ashta,
Autograph signing
Uh,
so long.
the one who's taken a liking to you, you happy to know it's what you guys called him? General Smokestack?
Oh
So-
dear.
That's his son."
Oh,
Oh
wow.
no.
I never would have guessed.
Of course it is.
Thankfully, his mother is of a better demeanor than her husband.
And hopefully not as
He just
currently
pinches the bridge of his nose.
Yeah, sure.
inebriated.
Do you see the princess come over? And she kind of nods to you guys and says, "From what I hear, you guys did well. Glad to see that the men's work on the outside was enough to get you to your goal."
This was the
Uh,
one who was summoning.
No, this is the. She was just talking to. She was basically in charge of the other lower ranks
Okay.
for the test. And you would know that she was in charge of defending the outside while you guys were fighting inside the.
So was she there during the test, like that,
Yeah.
like trials though?
Yeah, she was. She was like at the podium who was making the initial announcement.
Oh, okay.
I think she's
She's
the
not
one
the summoner,
who...
but
Was she the one who saw the saw Essence eat the frost salamander
Yeah.
soul and complimented
Yeah.
it? Yep. Okay. All right. I'm sorry,
And
my
they kinda,
mind is still on that
like
last.
both nod towards you. Now, the third person who were there, another woman in full armor, Tanya. Go ahead and describe what the players see.
Oh, we have a new person.
So, I am 5'4".
Good,
And-
another
Thumbs
tiny.
down at the new figure.
As
Um,
does Esther.
I have a side cut, or like my hair is kind of like not a faux hawk, but like sides of my head are shaved. My face is kind of like very snakish. I wear silver sleeveless cloth shirt and like culotte like pants. I have grayish green skin and slight scaling under my eyes, neck, and mostly around my arms and such.
Ooh, Yanti.
Or dragon.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, and Esther, you would recognize as UNT. A lot of them do live in the desert alongside the Genasi. They are comparatively smaller in population than the Genasi, at least percentage-wise, but it's definitely not unusual to see them in the desert.
Neato.
All right,
Yeah.
and the prince kind of like gestures towards her and says, "This is, I believe you said it was Yema, right?"
Yes, Yama.
And she tells me she's looking for a group of influential people, some kind
A
of
notable party.
Yeah, and I figured, let her see you guys. Do these look like the ones you were looking for?
They fit the description.
The
I'm
description.
sorry, but exactly who sent you our way?
What do you want?
Yeah.
Father.
Oh, my father?
Not your father.
Whose?
The father.
The father?
Just does the father have a name? Is it a
You have to be
Xenia.
more specific.
I want you to make a religion check.
Who?
Yeah.
Xenia.
Xenia, you know that a lot of king gods and pantheons, like Zeus, Odin, whatever, they're often referred to as something father, such as the All Father for Odin, similar to that. Could be something like that.
Which pantheon do you belong to?
Is it a god?
Yes.
Actually, like, look this person up and down and see if there's any, like, iconography to them.
Yeah, go ahead, roll a investigation.
Investigation or perception?
Investigation.
Alright. What do
All right. So looking up and down, you see a lot of like
With the 22, I'm just looking also for, like, knives under the sleeve or anything.
yeah. You see a basically standard adventure equipment backpack, a couple weapons on her. You do notice that she has a rather nice-looking greatsword in the back with a small snake carving around the handle. As for iconography, it's not really much. You see like a small circle, the secondary smaller circle on the inside of it. Each of the cardinal directions has a gap between both circles. So kind of like 4 tiny C's, and then another 4 on the outer ring. Other than that, not much.
Just kind of make note of that for later, at least.
Do you belong to a pantheon?
Um,
A clerical order or anything of the sort?
I am checking. Wait, out of
You can go-
character,
you can go
I'm
ahead and
checking.
You can
You're
go ahead and
fine.
ask. You can ask out loud. It's fine.
I'm so sorry. I'm so nervous, y'all.
Okay.
You're okay, don't
You're good.
worry.
It's
Good.
okay.
so
all good.
nervous.
Okay.
Conrad, do I belong to a pantheon?
Let's go ahead and make you roll a religion check.
So I roll a religion check?
Yep. Make sure you're no longer on the GM. Make sure you click all at the top middle.
Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. Where is it? Where is it?
Religion
Skill.
should be low,
Skill.
just alongside your wisdom score if you look in that box. Just under performance persuasion. Above the S's.
I've
Imagine the nerd.
I found it. Okay. I'm clicking.
Oh no.
big old 4.
You've heard the word pantheon before. You're almost not even certain what it means. You have a vague idea that it's like a collection of holy beings.
Okay.
Otherwise, though, it's not as far as.
All right. So no,
Are
I do
you-
not belong.
Are you from the desert?
No.
Where are you from?
Okay,
You see the
Or
prince kind of like put a hand on the shoulder and say, I think this should maybe better discussed.
before we
more
go
privately,
on
would
with
you guys
life
just-
stories, 1, we have something to talk with you, Prince. And
Alright.
2, we can address what you actually want with us later. So we're just listening person.
I will say that she seems rather trustworthy, but it is, of course, your choice whether you speak to them or not. Would you rather speak to me in public, or should we go somewhere a bit more comfortable?
Private would be best.
All right. He kind of like looks around and says, "Give it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1," and a little kind of like the pumpkin cart from oh god, what's the one with the glass?
Cinderella.
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 You are kidding me.
Kind of like come around the corner, and it's not actually a pumpkin, but I can't remember the name of what those things are called.
Okay.
A gourd.
A
A
court?
squash.
Nope. The thing that
A coach?
Cherry?
A coach?
coach. Thank you.
Carriage?
A coach come around the corner with a couple of
Can it
horses.
please be a pumpkin?
No, it's not a pumpkin. Um,
Is it an onion?
and no. Rumpelstiltskin looking ass. No, he opens up the door and he goes like, "Shall we?" And you can see it looks a lot larger on the inside than it is on the outside.
I was about to question how we would all fit, but magic makes things convenient, I suppose.
It's bigger on the
Can Asher
inside.
tell it's a demiplane?
It's not a demiplane.
It's bigger on the inside.
It is just. Go ahead and roll Arcana check if you want, Ashta.
6.
Okay. They're not quite just
It's bigger on the inside.
on the inside.
Rosalind will step up into it if anybody else is gonna.
Ash will go as well.
Then you'll walk in.
Alright. Yeah, and I assume all of you basically file in. It's comfortable. It's about maybe the size of a decent sized bedroom.
Is he bringing us into a fantasy limousine?
Sort of. And he basically tells the driver to head to the palace, or the castle, basically. And he says, alright, it's about as private as we can get. We've got some silencing spells so that no sound can get out unless I choose for it to. And I am making sure nothing does. What did you mean to discuss? And I will say, I would rather have Yema remain with us for now, if that's alright.
I suppose we can't.
We want to discuss something that's. Well,
We'd prefer Yema doesn't.
By the way, I'm trying to think. Who made that check earlier? Who was the first on the Dragonauts to go to the Nashta? It was Esther, right?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Esther, you detect a new presence of Fane somewhere in this cart.
She's gonna look at Yama.
Yema?
Yama?
Why Yema?
Oh, Yama. And just look and go. And, like, through Fane. Can you hear me?
Yema. Basically in the back of your mind, a familiar feeling, but a new voice. You hear that.
Hello? Can you hear me?
You can answer if you'd like.
Wait, am I answering?
Yes.
If you'd like to.
Oh,
Preferably.
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking. Okay, so what I understood was happening is that you were talking to the Fane and not me.
No,
Okay.
So the Fane are basically merged with your thoughts.
Okay. So am I communicating with?
You basically speak to them telepathically if you'd like to.
They're
Okay.
your smartphone.
Hello? All right.
Sort of.
Okay. Hello. Hi.
And Esther's just gonna say out loud, she has Fane.
She what?
What?
She has Fane. I just spoke with her. She has Fane.
Oh,
I'm not sure that changes very much, but it might change something.
No, it's just fairly interesting.
For later.
Yeah, Ronir kind of looks at you and says, "These are the creatures of thought that you mentioned previously."
Yes.
The reason we could
Yeah.
see what rose from the dragon's corpse.
The Ix.
He kind of like looks at none of you in the face and just waves and says, "Hello, Fane."
I'm sure they appreciate the gesture, but they're not separate from us per se. But that's off topic. We have something else we need to discuss.
Oh, all right, sure.
How do you feel about the way the druids are working today? And the things with the war and the rebellion?
Well, you forgive me if I speak carefully about this, but
It is a loaded political
while the
question.
rebels, it is. While I am certainly aware of the fact that the rebels fight for my leadership once more, I will have it known that I do not quite. I didn't or I asked them to, nor do I particularly agree with some of their methods, but I at least understand the concerns that they have
You can
with
sympathize with their intentions.
some of them. At least I understand what their justification for violence is. That,
It's just not the best execution of method.
yes. But same can be said for the druids and how they're responding to everything. So, yeah, forgive me if I leave it at that.
All right. How much do you know of the war, though? Not the rebellion. but the
Um.
attack on Peduncle and what is related to that.
If I understand correctly, it's extraplanar of some variety, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We've been having smaller but noticeable foot traffic from the Underdark, which would coincide with elemental planes being under some kind of strain. Nothing of violence yet, at least no more than usual, but a lot more escapees.
All right.
I take it they're related?
To an extent, perhaps.
Hmm.
Let's take a pause here. At least. And your guest here, Yema. What is your intention here?
My intention is to the stability.
Stability in.
Pardon?
That's it.
Yeah, what?
Okay.
What?
Then if that's your nebulous goal, then what's your short-term one with looking for us?
There is no short term. There is just stability.
Stability of what? Stability of yourself? Stability of the plane?
It is a very general,
Stability of your
broad,
people. Like, yeah, it's
vague,
pretty vague.
and it can be defined in nearly any way one may choose.
And you can choose. You can very much choose.
What?
No, that's...
What?
What I mean is, how do you define stability?
Overall,
How do you define it?
in everything, in the planes, in ourselves, in you, in where we are.
Like,
What I
like
mean-
you.
What
There
I
are many ways to interpret stability.
Okay, let's skip over
Yeah.
the vague, nebulous talk.
Yeah.
How do you finding us aid in your stability?
I have to find that out too.
So you're following vague requests from
A deity of some
someone
kind, most
you called the
likely.
Father?
Yes.
Are they your god? Do you follow them and pray to them?
Yes.
What region of this country are you from? North, south, east, or west?
I am from. Hold on, I'm just checking.
No worries.
Whenever you reach that point, you can
Just,
go,
I am from
Conrad!
like a gust of wind.
Conrad,
No,
help!
it's written on the sheet. It's written on the sheet. Don't worry.
I know
Um,
it. I just don't know
Ashton.
the direction of it.
It's not a direction. Ashton, let me just a raw wisdom check with advantage.
With advantage. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
21.
Okay. So this kind of discord that you've been feeling for a while, this almost unharmonious feeling, notice it's quieted down a lot. And the feeling was the one in which indicated that the planes were out of alignment, basically. You've noticed that it slowly seemed to coming back together just a little bit.
Just gonna real quick.
Alright. About most of a mile, directly downwards, not south, just down, you do detect a portal.
You can probably assume Underdark.
It's reasonable. That being said, the sense that you'd normally have of detecting portals feels slightly extended.
John.
He just kind of like leans back and just like, okay, what are you? What do you do? Why am I? Something's weird
Why-
here.
Why us?
Hold on, Esther.
What's
How do you
wrong?
keep stability? What can you do in
That
a
looks
fight?
that looks different. In a fight, I would fight. To answer your previous question, I'm from the plane of Earth
There it is.
and water.
Ah.
So something's weird here. Outside of this being a guest from another plane. He kind of just like taps his fingers on the metal. Just they're not like me, but there's something weird here, and something to do with the planes.
Mm,
I check with, actually, hold on. Where did you find your fame?
Do you remember the answer to that question?
I'm looking.
Don't think I wrote that one down for you.
I don't.
why?
Face.
I don't
If
remember
you-
that.
Yeah, so
Yes.
you would know that you had gotten your fame as a gift when you got your abilities from your god.
Okay. All right. So, do I need to repeat you in my character, or just
You can say you say that exact thing to us if you want.
okay? I say that exact thing.
And that's just gonna look like given by your god.
Esther's gonna tap her fame and just.
Yeah.
Is there any sort of deity that can gift you?
You see them like scrambling around and going, we know that Godeth, like the original creator, possibly, yeah. Any creature or could technically house a Fane. I suppose a god could as well.
Goddess, is there any god of stability? It's a very prominent instability.
There's a few depending on what kind of religion you're following. If you go with the Great Wheel religion, there's the god of time. If you go with Norse, whatever Norse would be in this, probably the religion of Odin is what it might be normally called.
Any
it would be
associated with the
Odin.
father?
Well, Odin, the Allfather, could be one. There are a few others in more distant. Some would argue that Cronus is a form of stability. He keeps stability within time. Others would argue that the Greek version of Cronus is quite the opposite, cannot be that.
Mhm.
But he's known as Father Time. But Odin's also known as the Allfather. It's a very general term. I'm sorry.
No, it's alright. Do you think that Odin, if possible, would be able to gift the Fane?
He is known for having a significant amount of knowledge, having sacrificed his eye for it, yes. I don't know
I
about
see.
Fane, but it's possible.
The Fane that is in her head, are they of your cluster or no?
Broadly, yes, but just like Ashta is of your species.
I
If
see.
you're speaking on humanoid terms, then yes, all Fane come from Godeth. He is. But other
Not
than that,
from a close cluster.
not that we're aware of at least. We haven't commingled with them yet.
Okay. Yema,
Mm-hmm.
this
Yes.
this deity that you worship, do they happen to only have one eye? Or have you never seen their face?
I have never seen their face.
Is it a man or is it a woman? Or do you not know?
I think the father implies something there.
Yes.
I'm asking more so for the tone of voice. Do they go by any other name? Perhaps Odin?
No, not Odin.
What other names do they go by?
I don't know.
How long have you been worshipping them?
Esther.
Ever since I left my plane.
Esther.
When did you leave your plane?
Esther.
Grilling her.
Esther.
You're just grilling her.
Xenia, enough.
We can find out about that later. They're new, and we should treat them with kindness, not an interrogation.
I'm not trying to interrogate, but this is important. We've been fooled before, and I don't feel like having to hear it again.
Vane implies something in terms of intention. The fact that they have them. If they wish to do us harm, I doubt they'd be the type to be toting them around. But more importantly, I'm concerned with whether what we think is good and just is going to coincide with them, and whether what we're about to ask the prince here is going to become an issue with other people sitting in and listening. That being said,
Well, there's a simple question to ask then.
could we please have Yema step out for a moment?
If she agrees to, sure.
I can step out.
Look, if your
I
intentions are good, then I apologize. I'll apologize in the future. But as of now, we don't know you or enough about you to, in any good conscience, be able to reveal things that we're about to.
I understand that. I very much understand that.
We can be more properly introduced later on once this business is taken care of.
And real quick,
Okay.
just for the sake of ease, as she steps out, can you give just a brief description of what your character looks like?
Okay.
She did, didn't she?
Oh, that's us.
Not yours, Tanya. Everyone else.
Everyone else. Tanya doesn't know. So do we just go down the voice chat line or something? Or
Do you also just want to drop some of the line
lines.
Yeah,
the line
I'll
part is
I'll
not
name the
up to date.
character. I'll name the character, and the player can describe him a little bit.
All right.
So let's start with just Ashta.
Asha, he's less than average height.
He's not tiny, he's compact.
He's 5'6". Kind of this short-ish, but hair on his head, rough scruff on his face. Just probably need to shave a few days. Although if you spend more than a few days with
Okay.
him, you understand it is always like that.
Okay.
Currently wearing a decked-out set of armor. That's kind of under this Greek cloak he's wearing. Crossbow slung over his back. Kind of pale blue-gray to his eyes.
Hmm.
Basically, kind of messy, a little messy, but the kind of one of the first things you'd think of a mercenary almost.
Okay.
Looks alone.
Okay.
Alright, and Caius.
Alright, so Caius is
Purple.
tall.
Next character.
So fucking helpful.
He's,
Next.
6'2". He is, from head to toe, he is decked out in purple. In a purple sort of training, not like a training gi, but it's
The sleeves
like
are ripped off, aren't they?
training gi. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. He
looks
has,
like an alternate version of.
yeah, like an alternate version of Ryu. He has arm wraps that go up to about the elbows. He has long hair that is also purple, and it's one side of the head is shaved as well. So he is. He punches things. It's fun.
Got it. He reminds me of that one character from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Also, Tanya, if you click the little eye on the main screen,
Yes.
where the chat is,
Yes.
or sorry, the one beside the eye, rather.
The little like newspaper thing.
Yeah, the journal.
Looks like yes.
And
I'm
if you
seeing-
scroll down, yep, active characters, you should see all their names. If you click them, you might be able to get a bigger thing of their art.
Yeah, I got it. I
I need
have
to
it.
change my
Caius.
art, but yeah.
Caius is up, so.
Mhm.
Thank you, though.
Right, Rosalind next. Or...
Yeah, apparently. So Rosalind is another of the shortest of the party, also 5'6", on par with Ashta. Everybody else is taller. She has...
Not everyone.
Okay, not everyone now. Yema is new, however.
No, Ashta.
Yeah, I said everyone else aside from her, and Ashta I meant.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I heard. I missed
Yeah.
it.
I didn't say it outright, but I implied it, sorry. Anyway, she's got this auburn brown hair that's kind of coiled in this, done up at the back of her head. And there seems to be this wooden hair stick pushed through it. She is wearing a new set of half-plate armor, kind of mithril silver, over her chest and torso, upper arms, pair of greaves. And underneath it, there is what seems to be basically like a red dress, kind of deconstructed. It's open up one side for her legs, for ease of movement. She's wearing trousers and tall boots under the greaves. She looks kind of fancy. She's got a sword at her side and a shield on her back, and she's got a choker with some red gems hanging from them. Another couple of wands in a holster at her hip. And she looks and carries herself like somebody who is accustomed to a certain amount of authority and presence, I suppose.
He's a noble.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice,
And
nice.
next up is Xenia.
Okay, Xenia is 6'1", very lanky. Ginger hair, it's a little more faded than in the picture nowadays, with one gray streak running through it. They're wearing sort of a fuzzy cape with sort of green hanging down. It's the only color besides the red sash on their arm that they wear. Other than that, it's mostly just grays, gray breastplate, sort of the pants are a little faded, darker gray now, and the boots have a bit of color to them because the boots of the Winterland. I think they have slightly color to them because we all have the same boots, right?
Yeah, they're the with fuzzy tops.
Oh yeah. I didn't
Okay.
catch that.
Yeah, and so they usually just back straight, either a very neutral or slightly inquisitive look on their face, but other than that, you haven't seen them show a lot of the emotional faces yet.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And last up is Esther.
She looks like she's on fire. It's slightly, I guess, unnerving in a sense, first off, but Christ, I don't even know what
I mean,
my
they
character
probably know
looks
what
like.
our Genasi are.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. I'm just trying to, I don't know, I forget what she looks like sometimes. Currently, as of right now, the hair is on fire, as it usually is. Her eyes are an incredibly bright orange, which matches the hair. Obviously, skin is darker due to being from the desert. And Suldar, which you would know as you were a Genasi, or at least from the plane of Earth, run in shifting color lines. So basically, it looks like lines of fire running across her skin.
Okay.
Currently dressed in mithril armor, which is like so underneath her clothes, like from underneath like the collar and sleeves, you can see peeking out like this almost silvery sort of material.
Yeah.
Fantasy
So-
equivalent of a bulletproof vest.
Huh?
Fantasy equivalent
Yeah.
of a bulletproof vest.
Pretty much.
Well, it's bulky though.
I don't know if you can see the character art or not, but currently wearing just a cloak. The hood is not drawn up, but just neutral colors and stuff like that.
Okay. Is your character a rogue?
No.
No. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
No worries, love.
There we go. So, as she kind of steps out, and the coach, is that the word? Comes to a
Mhm.
stop. The prince kind of nods to you guys, says, my apologies, that was strange. She came to me earlier in the day asking if I knew anyone of the sort. I don't think she knew who I was or what kind of importance I had. I think she just saw me as a random person on the street.
I get the feeling that being from the plane of Earth is not a long time ago thing.
It's certainly
Hmm.
possible.
But for now, said there was you had lack of confidence in methods of both the rebellion and the druid,
Yes.
and
Especially officially, that is my position. But I find myself rather torn on it. While I am technically in charge, I'm not even a puppet. I don't even do that. I'm meant for international business, but for such an isolationist country, I never get to do anything with it. The druids refuse to ask me any kind of anything before the pass laws, and my position has become unnecessary. And yet they still require that the folks in Citadel pay for my lodgings and take care of my family and treat us as if we're in charge. So I have disagreements with that side. But the rebellion is altogether war hungry and revenge driven, and just use my name again as a figurehead for wanting to get revenge.
do you have any opinion on the druids' rise to power and the kind of conflict with them and the previous rulers?
Um, well, it was what put my family out of power originally, but I wasn't there for it. So I don't have a personal stake in it other than wanting to honor my family, and I feel it's best we move past that.
That's good to hear. Cycles of revenge rarely turn out well, if
That's
ever.
my thoughts exactly.
And of the elemental planes, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's safe to say you have at least some, not investment. You'd like to end the war and have peace between this plane and the elementals?
It'd be nice. It's a danger to everyone here when the planes attack, and other than animosity that you'd expect from as far as I'm aware, is senseless violence. Um, I don't hold them any particular grudge.
In that case, could we offer you an alternative?
I'm listening, and as is my sister, she has just as much to say as I do.
Of course. But we're more readily acquainted with you, so
Yes, she's more of a general than a diplomat. She kind of just nods and shrugs and says, "I take care of the fighting. He makes sure we don't have this more than we can handle." He kind of nods and
generals have their place, just not in senseless violence,
exactly.
which is what we aim to break. The simple fact is that all sides in this coming and current conflict, frankly, don't know what the hell they're doing if they're aiming for peace.
This is the nature of war. Don't let the old stories fool you.
How extreme of a stance would you say tearing it all down would be?
As extreme as you can expect me to think, but I get the feeling you're speaking parabolically.
Hyperbolically.
No, parabolically. I'm waiting for you to drop down to a level which I understand. Seem to have risen pretty high there.
Fair enough. we aim as a group. We have taken the, for lack of a better term, a warpath against those who would continue senseless violence, those who would, despite the best support and the most casualty-free success, lead to a recurrence of what had happened from the other side.
And
We're
what
looking
do
to-
you see as the most casualty-free? Might I ask?
Well, just hypothetically, if some greatly powerful beings came on any given side, the Druids, the Plains, or the Rebellions, and won the war, casualty-free. This is hypothetically. Even if that were the case, if you put one of those powers in order, this is only going to happen again. Someone's going to rise up. Someone's going to have a problem with it. Someone's going to want revenge for what happened before.
You'll have to forgive me if I'm assuming things here, but I hope you're not asking me to lead my own third rebellion, are you? You would not be the first, and I have no plans to increase the violence. I'll be a diplomatic peacekeeper if I must, but
We
I
don't.
wish to.
We have no intention of asking you to start a rebellion. We'll do that ourselves. We ask your support.
Mm.
And what would you ask this support be? I can offer you moral support, encouragement. My sister can offer you a sword or two. What are you asking of me?
We're asking it first right now for relations and demonstration of intention. We're asking that you give us some consideration. We've made some progress already as it is. We're not upstarts and we're not war hungry. We've come across some information that leads us to believe that the way society as a whole is being operated on the material plane is stressing all of the other ones. It said that in the wheel structure that the material is kind of stuck in the center.
Yes, as has been demonstrated by a number of planar physicists.
And as a result, overtaxing of magic. Magic that brings in power from other places, or at least the most popular magic, that of the Druids. Can lead to things like, for example, portals running haywire, which I'm sure you've noticed.
Yes. It's been,
Or
quite the surprise.
However, the reason for the intrusion and incursion of the elemental planes is their understanding of that fact. That the Druids and the Druid Society are stressing everything else and, quite frankly, breaking it down for their own gain.
mm-hmm.
And despite that, there are those who lead on their side that sport that same kind of bloodthirsty penchant for revenge and destroying your enemies that is just going to lead to something else like this happening again. There's too much vested interest in all sides as a whole. Even if we were to, say, bring back the old magic users from long ago, I'm sure they'd have plenty of chips on their shoulders.
Yes, and you'll forgive me, but their style of thinking is that of a rather exclusionist society.
Oh, I'm fully aware.
We don't want to bring that back.
No,
Neither do I.
definitely not.
We want
I mean, an
something
example.
new, something that will stop all of this conflict and death and destruction.
Something that is run by the people like you who understand and can see and learn from the past of the mistakes that could happen again and again.
Something that's not constantly stagnant. A system that isn't simply set and then never changed.
Here is the problem. We can, in theory at least, fight against those individual beings that want that bloodshed and the war and the destruction. We can take them down, but that's only the first part of the problem, because then afterwards there needs to be someone to draw them together and to lead them.
And,
We can't necessarily do that, because then what are we but just
the next
people who-
hierarchs.
Yeah, people who
Mhm.
destroyed to raise ourselves up. But
Which is not what we're attempting.
if everything has to change, if there are those that will not let go of their power for anything and will kill in order to keep it, then
Or simply cannot be convinced in the time that is remaining for catastrophe to happen.
Or simply let go of the past that is no longer an issue in the present.
then in short, those may need to be neutralized, removed, I don't know, imprisoned perhaps, whatever might be necessary, and, well, there needs to be something prepared to step up and take care of things.
There are more like us, more like you, who understand this. But from the position they're sat in, like you are now, cannot do anything. Because the ones with the power are swinging it around and don't intend to have them do anything. We, as a group, aim to be that equalizer.
Bit of chaos for the sake of stability. What do you say?
Something in that vein.
It's as terrible
well,
sounding as
So
war for the
giving a
sake
kick
of
in the
peace,
ass to the
but
parts that don't work.
Well, I'll admit, it's not what I expect you to come forth with. Do the Fane have to do with this? Is that what you meant by those who can remember the past and their mistakes?
the Fane
Bring
aren't
up-
directly related, I believe, unless there's something that we haven't uncovered yet. But they do have very, very good memories of the past.
And you bring up an interesting point as well. That the Fane do allow for full awareness of times past and memories gone by.
You see him kind of like glance at his sister and he goes, I believe we're thinking the same thing, are we not? She kind of nods. He goes, okay, well, you are convincing, I'll give you that. And, if you so wish, we are willing to begin a sort of economic partnership with you. Keep that in mind. That does not mean that I can just simply command people to start trading with you. You must build those relationships yourselves and
Of course,
gain
we're
followers
not-
yourself.
We're not looking
But-
for anything
Please wait.
specific or anything tangible.
I will at least give you, as you request, if you desire, a platform to speak upon, as well as my informal support, if that is what you wish. That being said, if you plan to lump me in with other allies you've made, I would rather at least know who they are so I can begin conversation with them, see their thoughts with of you folk, and what their understanding of your goals are.
I should have looked at Rosalind. I mean, we could offer a convincing point, could we not?
Rosalind will feign over to Ashta and ask Orizer.
Aquarius.
Ash's Fane are currently shut down.
Oh, right.
I
forgot about that.
Thorn
You
over.
can use Thorn,
Thorn,
but
yeah.
keep in mind.
Thorn's there. And Aquarius. Thorn.
She's here with us right
Thorn,
now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thorn telepathy back to Ashta. Is it worth revealing her for this?
I don't know. But if that's the path we want to go, I couldn't think of any better of a way to hook in the prince.
Thorn message
Let's-
over to Aquarius. Do you feel comfortable revealing your identity to him, or would you rather keep it secret?
I would rather not reveal myself as Aquarius, but I would understand if you wish to make it known that Aquarius, the Zodiac, is within your grasp.
Within our grasp, or an ally towards peace? There are
Well.
two different things.
A helper. I wouldn't call.
Conrad, you cut out?
Uh-oh.
Oh no. We lost him! He's
Fuck!
gone!
He's
Oh,
dead.
no.
2 hours in.
Hey!
I was gonna say,
Better
that's
Yeah,
not,
than-
that's
yeah,
bad.
it's not bad.
Has this happened before?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it
it used to be
this is no
frequent.
idea.
Used to be like at
Oh.
least 10 times a session.
We once had
Oh.
Yeah.
the record was like 19.
Conrad's dead.
Conrad's dead and we killed
And
him.
it would mostly be in the middle of very important sentences.
Yeah. As
Yeah,
It's first time in a
Actually,
while,
like-
yeah.
at the time.
And it's nice because this one wasn't in the middle of, and then you see.
That
Yeah,
was
that-
always the worst.
That one fucking.
Okay,
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
He's back.
Test.
there he
Yep.
is.
Test test.
There we go.
Mhm.
Sorry, that's the first time in like a couple weeks, and I think.
Probably. Anyway, she wouldn't
sorry.
say. She wouldn't say what.
I wouldn't say that I could be considered an ally, dear, but
That's true.
an accomplice for sure.
That is true. Alright.
Out of character, maybe. Send another message to hashtag 'cause I have something to say.
Yeah, she is absolutely going to send another quick message to Ash to say she doesn't want to be revealed yet, and she's not, in her own words, an ally yet.
Then perhaps we could offer a dwarf we have as a friend as a spokesperson for Aquarius.
No. Don't bring Aquarius into this yet. The prince only mentioned allies. If Aquarius doesn't feel ready for that, then I would not make that claim.
You're right. Okay,
Orizer.
we'll keep it close to the chest for now.
Orizer is a
Orzer
glimmer.
is
He is not completely on our side, but he is at least understanding of what we're trying
so.
to do. Rosalind will then turn to the prince and say, he is not precisely an ally, he is not behind us in the same way, you are not quite, but he understands what we are attempting, and if you have questions, you may be able to reach out to him and get his opinion on us and on our goals. It will be blunt, but honest. His name is Orizer.
Those are
He is a glimmer.
Orizer Magog.
Yes. You know him?
I know of him. He was essential in defense of almost every major city in this country. You have him, at least
We have
conversationally.
we have his understanding, and yes, conversationally. He is
Ah.
withholding any further support until we might more concretely prove what we are doing has a chance, I believe.
But in our recent endeavors, he has been an asset.
That is There's quite the pedigree on your side, I'll admit that much. And you see, like the princess is kind of like leaning forward, like glancing between you all, trying to see if you're lying. I'm not sure if you're aware, but he was a very close ally of my father before he passed.
Is that so?
Yes, he's one of the reasons that the Citadel up above was created. He encouraged some kind of defensive structure, both as a way to encourage access between the dwarves and the greater druidic society, as well as a method to protect against the giants. He designed that stone transport system.
You know,
If,
in hindsight, that makes a great deal of sense.
He is known for being quite the neutral party as well.
Did sorry, out of character. Did Orzer direct us to the prince?
Yeah,
He's the one who first brought up the prince, yeah.
he did.
All right. Yeah. I'm just
He,
well.
yeah, he
yes,
was the
and-
one who pointed us your way.
In retrospect, this makes a lot of sense.
I haven't seen him in over a decade.
He probably got grumpier.
Oh, I doubt it. You'd be surprised. But he was always quite a sort of uncle of mine. Intelligent. He taught me a lot of my understanding of the way politics work and how to work with the citizens and gain their trust and learn to trust them as well. I'll try to speak to him. It'd be nice to meet up once more. I'll see if he can make his way to Citadel. I know he's caught up at Uncle most days, but not Uncle, Lucerne most times.
Asha will give the forehead tap for the thorn telepathy.
Alright, there's a thorn telepathy. There's a little yes.
I have a consideration, but once again, if we want to cap this conversation off, if one of us is willing to spare a single unit of Fane, I would not trust my own, but if anyone else wanted to, it could be an option. And he would be in direct talks with Orzer immediately.
I would withhold that for now, I think, but we'll consider it for the future. We have our own mission to accomplish, and in that time he could get in conversation anyhow.
My worry is that it's not the most secure method.
I don't believe we've done anything yet that would cause that level of scrutiny.
Rosalind, you were kidnapped and replaced with an exact double.
We're
You think-
going
you think-
to deal with that.
But you think Scorpio is incapable of mail fraud?
Fine.
Sorry, that's fucking funny.
As a Scorpio.
It's assuming that Scorpio knows that we are the subject of that mail, but very well.
You know what I mean. It offers a secure line, both from him to Orzer and from us to him.
Give-
Especially if he's targeted by anything, you could make a last-ditch attempt to send us knowledge of it.
Alright, let me ask Orzer his opinion as well.
Good idea.
And she'll send her Fane zipping off to Orzer with the quick message of, what is your thought on giving Prince Ronir a single Fane from our cluster?
And after like the few seconds that go by, it comes back. Your Fane have an extra unit to them.
Orzer seems to approve. And she looks
Well-
to the prince. Orzer, we have a more direct line of conversation. He is also tied to these Fane, and we asked his opinion on something, and he would like to bring you into the group. Well, not our group specifically, but... And she'll flick that extra unit of Fane over towards the prince.
Oh, Rosalind's doing it.
Yeah, Orzer sent a extra Fane unit back with Rosalind's message.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I misinterpreted. I thought you said if we had one to spare.
It's been added to the chat.
So you would know basically to give him Fane, you'd have to effectively commingle with him.
All right.
Ash is keeping his safely in his head.
Is going to be a little bit new and interesting, but
Well,
something is
let's
going
hope
to ask you a question, and just go ahead and accept it. I promise it is safe and it is fine. It was
Alright.
from Orzer.
Just accept the terms and conditions.
Who
I'm
reads
sorry.
all
What did you
those?
just?
This like white window appears in his vision, just a little checkbox.
please
There's
confirm
going-
you're not a robot.
Yeah.
I'm
No.
sorry.
you
He's just like
accept the
moving his
terms
hand up and down
conditions.
as he's swiping to scroll through it.
Yeah.
Please confirm that you're not Ix.
He fucking accepts, and it's like the Microsoft paperclip pops up. Are you having a bit of trouble here?
But yes, she's going to throw
You seem to
one.
be trying to acquire Fane.
She's going to try to do the commingle and pass him one Fane.
To make sure you're not Ix, click on all the tiles with stop signs in them.
Alright. So, you see him kind of like look at you, and his eyes glaze over a little bit, and a familiar but still uncomfortable sensation comes over you, Rosalind, where you switch perspectives. And you were looking at your own body through Renier's eyes. And it switches back, and he goes, "Oh, this is enlightening.
You have a lot to think on now.
Do
You can ask a great many questions of the Fane. They may not have all the answers, but they'll have several.
And he kind of like puts his hand on the princess's shoulder, and you see her jolt as well. And he goes, "Huh. Works better with siblings, I suppose.
Oh, she just got one?
Seems like it." As a reminder, he is a relatively high-level character.
Oh, he just gets all of his.
Effectively, yeah. Once you're
Okay.
introduced, you gain all the ones you would.
Really?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well,
And they kind of look at each other and go,
once you
"Oh, I never
have-
wanted to see that deeply into your mind, sister."
Oh dear.
You can keep to the
And she
surface.
kind of looks at him and goes, "Same.
You'll learn to
Hold on."
control them.
And he goes, "Don't you say a word." And then he looks back to you
Well-
and says, "This is useful."
Yes, and you will be able to communicate with Orzer, or with us if need be, very quickly over vast distances if you need to.
And mine are currently out of commission right now. Personal
Oh.
reasons.
I'm getting, they speak to you as well, right?
Indeed.
Yes.
They're requesting I do something of a diagnostic, apparently.
With your encounter with that dragon,
Yes.
I'd recommend it.
I take it you all done the same?
Yes.
Alright,
Yep.
Seems
You
seems
should-
a shame
you
to
should-
put them to sleep so early, but
You will have,
have
plenty
plenty of
of time to, yes, become accustomed.
But
If
if,
I
that
may
does
make-
not make you understand our intentions, I don't know what will.
well, I'll have to sort through the thoughts, but I'm sure I'll get there.
Yes. And when you're done sorting, and perhaps if you have some attention to spare one night, and you're not sure what to ask of them, I recommend, just for the sheer magnitude of it, you could perhaps ask them to show you the creation of the plains. It's
He kind of
incredible.
just nods and goes, "That sounds like a performance I wouldn't want to miss, but one I'm terrified to buy a ticket for."
Well, the tickets are free and it's playing 24/7.
Terrifying. All right.
Well,
Um,
mostly free. Your cost is a stake in a planar-wide war, but
Well, not necessarily. I could always refuse you right here and keep the pain.
You could.
yes, and then we'd keep bothering you about it.
Probably.
I mean, and Esther's gonna talk into his head just, We can always just talk to you like this.
Oh, that is terrifying. Alright. I suppose I must accept now, won't I?
Yes, it might be a bit wise, considering the fact that we are literally inside your head.
Not that literally. Oh wait, it was over Fane, wasn't it?
Yes,
Yep.
it was.
Nope, she doesn't know.
You're kind of just not sizing us. Well, you've given me a lot to think about, and I take it with this new ability to speak to you that you don't mind if I take a while to answer the question.
Of course not.
Informally, however, I would like to offer you help when reasonable. In fact, if there's something I could expedite you right now, I'd ask that in exchange for a small favor, you would at least attempt to try to work with Yima. From my understanding, she is quite powerful, and I think having a planar ally in a war against the planar could be very useful.
Who is it that we're... Sorry, who was it? Sorry?
Yema.
The Yima.
UNT8 waiting outside. Yes, but
Who I imagine is kind of just sitting there twiddling her thumbs.
Well, we can at least give her a trial run.
you understand our caution.
Oh, of course. That being said, I'll be honest, I get a good feeling about her. That's all.
The fact that they have Fane very much vouches for their intentions. They at least consider what they do good.
Well,
Regardless, we
that
have...
said, shall I invite them back in?
Perhaps.
And to further that point, let it be known that falling to inherently evil methods and ideas can turn the Fane bad.
Yeah, they informed me as much when they requested the diagnostic, but I like to think myself a relatively upstanding citizen.
Mhm.
Well, that's good to hear. And Ashton puts his hand out to shake.
He kind of nods and grasps it in yours. They seem to give you like a small smile and just, all right, well, let's consider this a business partnership.
All right.
And he'll also do one for his, and put a hand out for his sister as well.
Yep. She nods and very nearly crushes your hand and just.
What's their strength score? Can one tell that? Can people tell that from handshakes?
Are you basically asking me to turn Ashton into a grip test machine?
Jesus.
Sure. Roll an insight.
Oh, dear Lord.
Oh, is that
Should-
Should have been an advantage, but it's so 19 instead.
Oh my god. No, it's a natural
Jesus
19, so it's a
Christ.
25. It's either a 25 or a 26, depending on advantage.
Her strength score, if I recall correctly, is just 20.
All right,
Oh my god.
big lady, got it.
She's actually not that big.
No, spiritually,
Strong lady.
Spiritual.
Strong
She's got
lady.
big. She's got big strength score energy.
like it's the thing of if there was a monster of your equivalent CR, kind of a ghost behind you, she'd be like a storm giant or something.
Yeah, potentially. Stunk. Alright. She kinda nods and goes, well, rather hope you're good at business deals as you are as with, talking to people. I guess sort of the same thing.
They're related at
And
the
she-
very least. Now,
Yeah.
we have to... Well, we're currently in pursuit of a legend, a location. We really need to speak with the General of Citadel, because we were told by Orizer, I believe, that he might have a lead on that. There is a mercenary of some power that the... Well, he has been hired by a number of beings, including recently a leader, one of the more bloodthirsty ones, perhaps, of the other
You see him kind of like,
planar
you hear him
group.
whisper under his breath. Zodiac?
No.
Yes.
Well, at least not the
No, no,
killer,
no.
anyhow.
We
The
believe...
ones who hire.
Yes.
Zodiac.
We believe that one
Some
of them
of them.
hired him, and he's been involved and has taken some direct interest in us. We're trying to head that off and take care of it before it becomes a bigger problem than it already has.
I'm guessing your information is being supplemented.
It is. Is it true that you've captured one of these Zodiacs? I have some memory of her being killed, I think. Is that what that is? Doesn't
I'm
look
sorry.
good.
Where was her?
It was.
She was revived.
Ah, still in your possession?
She is still with us.
As well, the culprit of her murder is who we are also currently pursuing.
Ah, well, might I encourage then asking the men who served you before, see if they, willing to go on a little trek. If you're trying to get to Citadel, we have a few, druids who are capable of using those flying stones to get you up there. They could probably take a crew of about 16, 20 people, if you so desire.
That would be a great help. Would it be wisest to set out directly from Citadel and therefore see if any of the squads would like to come with us first?
Potentially I could have them meet you in the morning and see who's willing to come with you.
That may be for the best. It is getting late, though, so I don't know if perhaps we should wait and contact the general in the morning as well.
Well, that'll leave up to you. Right.
I believe that may be for the best. So if there's a place that we can meet someone in the morning who can transport us up to Citadel, then we would greatly appreciate it. We'll see about
We'd like to
speaking
cash
with
in our
squads in
first
the
favor.
meantime.
And, Ashta, they're not favors, they will be exchanges. In exchange for this, I'd ask that you effectively deliver some form of mail to the general that I've been unable to send the normal routes, as well as I mentioned before, bring Yema with you in exchange for the transport.
I believe that we can agree to that.
Reasonable enough.
Well, for now, if you wish a place to sleep within my home, I will allow it. That way it's easier to bring you to the men in the morning, or you can simply meet me there at your leisure.
Efficiency would be efficient.
You know, as
Like, need things
efficient
to live.
is.
The most efficient efficiency there ever was.
Mostly because it was so efficient.
Enough!
The efficiency of efficient.
Okay. 9. Okay. If you'd have us, then getting there quicker would be preferable.
At this point, I think I can get rid of you guys. Getting a bit of a smile. I'll have, I have to go back to the celebration. I'll have each of you brought, if you want to stay in here, to a place to stay. I'm sure they'll find you somewhere.
I'd like
During
to
the ride,
spend
we
a
can-
little time in the celebration myself, so I suppose we'll have to meet back here regardless.
Well, you should be able to ask anyone. They'll be able to bring you to at least my courtyard. Here, and he hands you this small, symbol. It's this very basic one. It's just a triangle with a square interposed on it. He says, it's a secret symbol that my help knows that you're a guest of mine.
A print signal.
Rosalind will take it, and I will keep it very carefully.
Please do. You would not be the first of my wards to be coming unannounced.
Well,
So we're considered now.
That's the word I'm going to use.
that is
What did he
this
say?
symbol is going to make people believe, so... Ward.
What symbol?
It's a square and a triangle interposed, and it's going to basically be, we get to the castle courtyard after whenever we're done with the celebration or anything outside, and
It's a badge to flash.
yeah, and we show
Neat.
it to someone there who works there, and we'll get a place to stay for the night.
Oh, and
Awesome.
don't mind some of the strange looks they give to you. There was a past incident of usage of the symbol.
What
Well,
sort
I'm-
of past incident?
Don't
Well, I
worry
pass as a
about
noble so well that I'm sure we'll be fine.
it. He kind of looks at you, Esther, and goes, I'd rather keep that a bit, private, if that's alright.
Can I
That's fair.
insight check just to see if I get any kind of read on what direction that was gonna go?
Sure.
Like 17.
You don't get much off the prince, but you see this, like, bit of a smirk on the sister's face.
Okay, so an amusing incident. Embarrassing for him.
Most likely.
Hmm.
Got it. Good enough.
So, an amusing incident, embarrassing for him, proud for the sister.
Not proud, but funny at the very least.
Enjoyable.
Smirk. Yeah.
Thank you. Enjoyable was the word I was looking for.
Okay, yeah. Well,
Alright.
I believe if that's everything, then we'll
We have a new
meet you
party
in the
member,
morning,
guys.
perhaps. And we'd better get to know Yema at least a little bit before we head out.
Well, parties are meant for making new friends. I wish you luck.
Thank you.
And he kind of steps out and... Yeah, I mean, you see the prince step out and he kind of nods and says you can enter back in if you'd like.
Are we all
Okay.
stepping out?
I should call-
I follow Prince.
Aren't we all stepping out? For the...
He steps out
or-
first, so it's
okay.
Asher kind of calls over as he goes, "Happy dreams."
What? And the door closes.
A little hint
So
for
it-
him later.
So am I in the room with everybody, or is everyone out?
I do not know at
You
this
choose.
point. I thought
If
we
you
were
walk in
getting
right
out.
after the prince, then yeah.
We're not in a room, we're in a carriage.
Cares? Oh yes, sorry. Wow, my
Fantasy
head.
Fantasy limo.
We're in a limo. Okay.
We're in
Stationary,
Okay.
parked on the street. Like, well, we're going to have you as a tag along for a little bit and see how you work with us. How do you feel about going on a little bit of an adventure chasing a bit of a fairy tale?
And a mercenary, who's also a very big asshole.
A fairy tale and a mercenary. That sounds.
Well,
I would like to tag along. Yeah.
all right. We'll be heading out in the morning, but for now, we've got a few people to see if... a few people to ask if they would like to come along as well. Squads who were with us when we fought the dragon, and maybe of some help. And we're going to see if we can enjoy the celebration at the same time.
Okay.
Also, apologies for a bit of an interrogation. We're quite cautious when it comes to new people. There have been issues in the past.
It's understood.
All right. Well, we're not getting anything done sitting in here.
Yes, it's getting a bit stuffy in here.
Ashton, you do notice as she re-enters into the cabin, that feeling once more settles across you.
Also, I need to... You know, no, we were interrogating you, and I'm going to continue to.
Can we do it as we walk, though?
Yes.
Get out of the carriage and start going back towards the celebration.
Who wants to roll a 100? T,
All of
roll a
us.
D100.
Yes.
D100?
Yeah.
Okay.
Slash R space 1D100.
Slash R space G100?
Yep.
Yes? Okay.
57.
Nice.
So, as you guys step out of the carriage, immediately a very, like a small, kind of cute-looking stray dog runs up to you, Yema, and just immediately
Yes.
starts like sniffing around your feet.
Okay.
Okay. I'm smiling. I'm definitely I'm not freaking out of the dog. I'm very much greeted by it.
His tail starts wagging, and he's like looking right up to you.
Do you know this dog?
No, I don't know this dog,
It's adorable.
It's adorable.
but I'm very pleased with it.
Russell is
Wanna
going
try
to
and
bend
hold it?
down and hold out a hand for sniffs.
He starts sniffing your hand and licks yours, Rosalind. He looks up to you instead, tail wagging.
Astrid just like is going to lean over as well and just kind of do that as well.
Yep.
But then just
Same
have.
idea.
You said it was a stray-looking dog, right?
Yeah, it's pretty skinny looking.
All right. You're just gonna boop its nose, just in case.
Gonna bump his nose.
And you see it kind of like shake its fur out, and you see a couple small, weird colors of, like oddly colored patches of fur, shift to a more natural palette color. And it barks, and you hear in the back of your head the word, "Oh, thank you."
What?
What?
What the fuck? Does somebody roll another?
It's Gaspode!
Yep.
It's
I know
Gaspode!
I've been playing Skyrim, dude, but Jesus Christ.
Gaspode!
And the tail wags, and it just starts trotting away.
Oh god.
No, hold on.
Oh no.
Was it through Fane or was it just telepathy?
Your fan
don't
are shut
know.
down, so it's relatively certain to assume it's spelled.
Ash is the
I feel
only
like it's
one
a-
who heard it.
He looks around and it's like, did anyone just hear that dog talk?
I'm sorry, the what?
No.
I'm sorry. What now?
I don't think dogs can talk.
Was it someone's familiar?
Per-
No, that doesn't work that way.
have Thorn give it a hello.
Thorn is going to... Hello!
The dog kind of like stops, like sits its butt on the ground and looks up at the one and goes, "Hi."
You speak too?
You.
Are you magic?
What's magic?
Hmm.
Um,
Oh god.
there you go.
Someone give this dog a Fane.
Is it speaking?
No. Magic is
He just like
speaking...
sits back up and starts trotting away again.
Magic is speaking to other creatures inside their minds.
Oh. Then yes, I am magic. You see him actually like slowly walking away, and he eventually turns a corner and down an alley, and Thorn I assume is flying overhead.
Yeah.
You see him just like curl up next to another similar-looking dog and a small litter of puppies.
Oh.
Guys.
Oh.
We're not keeping them.
Guys, I'm so...
Esther's just gonna
This is
and just
we're
slowly
so
look
How
There's
many-
only Thorn. There's only Thorn.
Things are we gonna
Thorn
adopt,
sees
guys?
it, Rosalind
Awesome.
sees it. And you see Rosalind's face just do the expression that you get when
What is it?
something-
Are you okay?
Oh my-
Esther's gonna
There's
slowly
puppies.
kneel
There are
down.
puppies.
And he like tries to like put a hand over Rosalind's mouth.
Esther's gone. She's
And
already gone.
he's like,
Oh,
don't let
no.
us. Oh god, she's alright.
go.
And he runs after her.
Oh,
Don't let Esther.
We're adopting all these little fuckers, aren't we?
Asha has the highest land speed in the team, but
Esther,
think he does,
she's
yeah.
got pure mom energy going. Whether you
Roll,
catch her.
Esther,
No.
roll a mom check.
does her mom check let her dash as a bonus action right now? Because otherwise I'm faster.
Is that a thing? A mom tech?
Roll, yeah, we have a skill called mom for Esther.
Wow.
Fuck you.
I'll say you're
Roll
moving
mom
fast enough
check.
that Ashta can barely catch up to you. Barely.
You were
Are you
gone by
fucking-
you were gone when Ashton was still trying to make Rosalind shut up.
And as you turn the
Esther.
corner, you see basically what the equivalent of a cardboard box, like broken wood.
Oh.
They look at you, and you just hear, you hear a bark in the back of your head. You hear, "Hi."
Oh, hello.
And Asha like
Esther's
like
gonna kneel
stops
down.
and like skids over into the alley. It's like we are not keeping them.
Who made you in charge? Last time I thought it was Rob.
Our leader is currently not in the right state of mind. As such, I am.
How
As
many
such,
puppies
Man
are
with
there?
evil aliens in his brain.
As such, I am superseding power.
No, listen here. You are not superseding power. Rosalind is in quote unquote charge. Therefore,
You hear Rosalind's voice come from Thorn, who is still sitting there, even though Rosalind's way back with the others and maybe being guided there. I
Yep.
think that it might be up to them. So, what are your names?
He like
As-
tenses up, just like, of course it is.
Esther's gonna just sit down on the ground in front of the box, and behind her back, she gives Ashta the finger.
One of the puppies kind of like stand up and just totter over to you, and start sniffing at your feet. The other one that spoke before kind of speaks in your head, Thorn. And kind of goes, the small ones call me Dad.
Of course. Alright.
Esther's just gonna look at. Oh, sorry. Continue. I cut you off, Rosalind. Sorry.
It's okay. I'm not sure what I was gonna say now.
Esther's gonna look at the puppies and just. Do you guys have names?
They don't say anything.
Are you the
I see
only
one
one
start
who can,
nibbling on your toe.
Are you the only one who can speak into minds?
No, the other one did.
No, it's all been the one so far.
No, I'm speaking to the one.
And he kind of just goes, I don't know, we just talk normally.
Oh, you're something very special, aren't you?
How many of them are there? Do you know?
Looking over it, probably about 6. I just realized what that number is equal to. Shit.
One for each of us? Alright, is this 6
Okay.
puppies or like 4 puppies?
It's 6
and 2
puppies and
adults?
2 parents.
6 puppies, 2
Oh
parents.
my god.
That wasn't on purpose.
We don't need this.
Oh my god.
It is
Sir,
so
we have
urgent.
Oh, we're taking the
priorities.
puppies.
We need this.
We're taking the puppies.
Yes, sir.
Ashta, don't you think it would
Yama.
be?
Yes.
You see what seems to be the mother, kind of like walk over to you and start sniffing you up and down.
Mm-hmm.
She starts like sniffing at your belt pouch.
Okay. What? I don't remember what's in my belt pouch.
Pretty much whatever you can expect to put in like a satchel almost. Probably money, maybe any kind of maybe a bit of food. Stuff
I'm
like
trying
that.
to remember where the snacks would be. Would it be an explorer's pack?
It could be spread out between.
Right. So I definitely have food on me. Should I feed
Oh, yeah.
them?
Up to you, what do you do?
So I would give them to the little. I'm not sure what food I have.
Make it up. It doesn't really
You
matter.
can just
Okay.
do something.
Just
So
non-perishable.
Okay. Then whatever little pieces of beef jerky that I have, I give them. So I just rashed out some beef jerky to them.
And it kind of takes it gently in its mouth. It just walks over to its kids, and you see it just like put it on the ground and hold on to it with the paw, and just tear little pieces for each of the puppies.
Oh, okay. I gave him an extra piece, just so
Okay.
he eats. Yeah. Is there a breed? Do we know what breed the dog is?
Roll a nature check.
Nature check. Okay. Give me a second.
I should just passively nature this too. He would know dogs.
Um,
Yeah, go ahead, roll a nature.
6.
Really.
It's
Unless they're
reasonable to assume
elemental or
it's
say.
Wait, is that you or me? Hold on.
6
I
was
also
to you,
rolled.
8 was that. Don't worry, you rolled. You both can reasonably assume there's some kind of mutt.
Alright.
What? Okay.
How big are they?
Us-
Like relative to dog breeds? We
You would be
talking kind of like labs or
Yes.
beagles or
So I'm really bad with the names of dogs.
Medium, small, or big?
a small,
Big boy with
think
small
of
voice.
the smaller end of German Shepherd,
Oh,
Okay.
thank God.
Medium.
Okay.
but
Medium
very
to big.
clearly malnourished.
Oh,
Oh.
babies. Okay. So Esther's gonna look at Ashta, just for, as she has an argument. Ashta, as we are very much hoping to soon obtain a base of operations, would it not be smart to have sort of our own little selection of guards and hunting dogs?
Oh, now
Or
she's
pets.
speaking his language.
make a wisdom save here.
Roll a persuasion check there.
Can I help with the persuasion?
Please
Can I help?
help me.
I
Give
have
me help.
proficiency. I will give the help action.
What are you doing to help?
I am
Come on.
nodding alongside and
As Thorn?
say,
I assume
okay,
people
fine.
catched up by now if Yama was there
Help
too.
me.
Yeah.
Kind of just holding up a puppy and like, come on, man.
Can I have advantage on it?
Like it's little
Can I have a
I'll say
check?
through the nature of just everyone wanting a puppy as well. Go ahead. Roll.
I might-
Jeez.
By the way, Rosalind could actually make that check against a DC 9 for persuasion if without even trying.
What is the persuasion? Did it not roll?
I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't see
see-
it yet. It might be slow.
Come on, brother.
Click again, because sometimes putting on an advantage makes it not react super well.
Yeah.
Oh
Alright,
my
let me just.
god!
Oh no!
Oh my god! How do you have such a low?
No!
Oh my god! Come on!
Did it work?
Yeah, and it
did.
didn't
Roll
work.
the six.
You rolled a 6.
His stone heart is the shores at which your waves of sympathy will be broken.
What the fuck?
Look at them. They could. they. The father is clearly
have-
intelligent.
They're starving. Look, they're
It's
They're
worth of
tiny.
note, but we have a Pyrrhus, the hippogriff. It was becoming a trend the last time before when we got 1. This is 8.
they need friends.
But they'd also be much easier to feed than Pyrrhus.
They don't eat metal. They just need a bit of like simple meat. Look, they're eating turkey.
Plus, we can train them for hunting. We can train them as guards.
And
They are
pets.
incredibly intelligent and will find some use. They are much easier to feed than Pyrrhus, and we've already been doing fine with him. They don't seem to be injured, only malnourished, therefore they will be much easier to maintain up to a normal health standard.
We're
Plus,
not-
we all want them.
You see Aquarius kind of like poke your shoulder and says, "And also I can turn into a dog and care for them if needed."
Can we
I'm
create
doing
something
much
to
inside.
carry them?
My
I'm not-
arms.
Esther just kind of like breathes in. Okay.
Ashta, just hold on. I'm not doing much inside my prison. Just allow me to take care of them, please. The hippogriff seems to be resting. Pyrrhus is good for conversation, but I'm used to
Oh.
caring for people. Pyrrhus doesn't quite need mine.
Come now, Ashta. How can you say no to these little faces?
Esther's gonna look at Rosalind, pull rank, pull it now. I don't like you, pull rank.
We have the space. There's the hut. We'll be able to. We might have to let them out a little more frequently, but I'm sure we can come up with some system.
Esther's gonna just open up her arms to pick one up.
As soon as you do, you see like the father kind of not hard, but he holds onto your wrist with his teeth.
Ah,
They're
Okay.
small. Let them be.
no, I understand.
Here, listen. And she's speaking to the father dog. How would it be if we found a place for you to stay with us? We can provide you food and shelter, warmth.
Food?
Yes. Quite regularly.
Food for small ones, too?
All of you. Every last one.
This place is, safe?
It is. It does have a couple others living in it, and they might take some time to get used to, but they are also very intelligent and clever, and they'll know better than to do anything, they'll know better than to play roughly with the little ones. They'll be gentle. I'll make sure of it. Would you like to meet them first?
I can come to place and bring little ones and then meet the livers. Speak to them, see if they are willing to help. Yes?
Yes. Let's go ahead and find out about this. I want to search the immediate area for a place to set up the hut.
It's pretty packed around here.
It
I
might,
should just kind of.
it might be
okay.
a bit of a walk. The place is small, but then it becomes big. It's difficult to explain, but magic is involved.
Look,
We can attempt to carry
can-
them if it makes it easier.
we can bring them to the prince's place.
Yeah, that is, from what you've been able to gather, it's pretty close by.
And we can deal with that later. But I want to stress I'm clearly not making any headway in us reconsidering this. I'm not gonna lie. I'm somewhat. I can't deny the positives. I need like these air quotes. But this is not permanent. They're not staying in the hut all the time.
Of course not.
Once we have some place to put them that we know they'll be fine, they're being moved.
Of course.
We're
we're
not
working
dragging
on
them
it.
around with us everywhere. This is temporary.
All right, all right.
Esther's got the
Yeah.
biggest shit-eating grin on her
Let's,
face.
Let's get about.
This is the
let's
dog
see
let
about
go of her hamster.
introductions. And no, we will not touch the little ones unless you allow, if you'd like.
Is this safe place far?
It's far in order to get to it, yes. But we may be able to. Can Pyrrhus fly out of the vase? As
If
it
you
is?
ask him to.
And can he get back in without us setting up the hut?
Yeah.
All right. One moment. You can meet one of them at the very least, the one that's awake. And she'll stick her head in the vase, or voice, or whatever. Maybe send a thorn in, and call Pyrrhus up to meet somebody.
We're in an alleyway, right?
Yeah.
Asher still kept looking around to make sure.
You could make like a body shield to cover the entrance. It's only about 5 feet between houses.
He grabs Caius and puts him beside him.
All right. Call Pyrrhus out of the vase, out of the hut vase.
Esther will call
You see him
him.
like climb out of the vase and onto the ground. You see the dog, the two older ones, like get up and start barking at him until Pierce goes like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa!"
It's all right.
Chill.
This is a friend. Pyrrhus, meet these two. Unfortunately, they do not have names of their own at the moment. Parents of these little ones, and this one, the father, can speak telepathically.
You see him kind of begin to like take his claw and press at his throat a little bit, and then you see a small piece of come out. He puts it on the end of a claw. And he pushes it towards one of the small ones, who wobbles over, takes a bite of it, and then walks closer and sits between the two larger claws on his remaining front paw. And Yema, they just pulled a gold dragon out of a vase.
What? They pulled-
wait.
They just pulled a small gold dragon out of a vase.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wait, who pulls it?
Probably us.
one of us.
Yeah.
Esther. Okay. So I'm a little kind of shocked, but I'm also my composure is kept. The dragon is dead, right?
No.
No.
No, it's alive.
It's
Oh, it's
alive.
alive. Okay.
It's alive.
Okay.
It's just
alive.
How big is it? Is it like it's a base? Is it just
about
like
the size
is
of
it
the
like
dog.
is
It's
it like
much
a
bigger than the
genie
vase,
type
yeah.
of thing?
As the large
Yeah,
dog.
no, it is not as. It is
Okay.
bigger than the vase.
Yeah.
The vase is like.
Okay.
The vase is carryable.
It's slightly, yeah. The I'd imagine like the small gold dragon's like a bit bigger than like an actual mastiff.
Okay.
Probably about the size of a golden retriever.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I definitely take interest. I put
Wow.
my hand out to let the dragon sniff my hand.
And he looks at the hand and goes, "You want to smell that?" The dragon says to you.
Oh, I was like, oh, no. Okay, I'm taking it back, and I apologize. I'm so
Has
sorry.
Pyrrhus learned
I
common?
wasn't sure.
Relatively.
Oh, damn.
Stuck in the face with Aquarius
I
for
know,
like
Aquarius.
3 weeks.
Yep.
And yeah, Asher goes, by the way, if this is Pyrrhus, you tell anyone about him, we're gonna have issues. Pyrrhus, this is Yema.
I'm curious.
And you notice
He's
that this
scaly
dragon,
like you.
you notice that this dragon actually only has 3 legs.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh,
Which is it?
Okay,
Rear
take
left or
note.
rear right?
Sorry?
Is it rear left or rear right?
I think it's front right.
Yeah, I think
Is
it
it
was
front or
front.
right?
It was front.
Okay.
Mm.
All right.
Yeah. So he kind of like nods towards you and says, "Well, I'd shake your hand," but he waves the stump at you.
what does that mean? Way to stump at me?
The stump of an
Like-
arm.
He's missing an arm.
He's missing
Oh.
like half of an arm.
So, is he peg or no? Just a stumpy arm.
It's a stumpy arm.
Okay, stumpy
Stumpy
arm, and I
arm.
shake it. I would definitely go. Or just the way she stomps it, or like
No, he's like waggling it towards you. He says like, "I would
Okay.
shake your hand, but
He
So I
is
go for
he
it.
is missing a limb, and it
Okay.
stops about halfway up the arm.
Okay, is it rude if I shake the nub?
you have
No.
no idea. You've never had etiquette with a dragon before."
Oh
Okay.
god.
So Yama does not know how to react, but definitely I smile. Yama smiles, and
See him smile back, and it's just all teeth and meat.
I love it. Perfect.
Esther reaches over to scratch by. Well, best you can, you know, because scales.
You see
Yeah.
like the stumpy arms start to twitch as she scratches him.
Okay.
The dog foot just
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And you see Paris kind of like stop. And he uses his back paw to like, bat your hand off Esther, and he walks over to the older male dog. And they push noses together, and he does the same to the older female. He goes, "Yeah, all right, they can crash my place."
Oh.
it'll be temporary once we find a better spot for them. But for now,
Yeah, they're not eating my food. That's up to you guys.
No,
they don't eat
Of
that.
course.
they wouldn't be able to eat your food anyways, hun.
That's true. I don't know.
Some of
These
the
little furry
scratch-
wants you to be able to eat anything. Yeah, I used to live with some gophers. These are more fun.
Really? We
Yeah, when I was
learn-
still living in the hinterlands.
We learn more and more about you every day.
They were no fun.
Hmm.
One time I walked into a wolverine den rather than a gopher den by accident. That was a bad day.
I would
Anyways,
assume
Not
so.
good.
Okay, more importantly, let's get them in.
and he kind of like looks towards the older dog, and they kind of blink at him, and he takes his wings and basically scoops up one of the puppies in each one. Says, "Can you bring the face down?"
And Astro just Radiant Soul. So for the new one, you see angel wings shoot out of his back.
Mm.
2 sets. And he goes and he kind of like gestures for the mom to go into the box.
And you see the mom, in its mouth, just pick up 2 of the puppies by the scruff of the neck.
No, I say the box that all the puppies are being in currently.
They'd been starting to like wander out because they're going to like,
Yeah.
investigate the new people.
Yeah, okay, but yeah, just kind of round them up in there.
Yep, basically. And the dad does the same thing, picks them up, and looks at you, Ashton, back then you're, "Oh, thank you."
And you hop on.
And they sit inside the box.
And he will just kind of push of the wings up and float down into the base.
Alright. And as you float down, you see Rayla kind of wave at you and goes, "Oh my god, it's puppies!"
Oh my.
Rayla's happy.
Mm.
Also, again, a note for the new person: you see him just like shrink down as he falls into the vase.
Yep.
Okay, I'm just watching. I'm just like, okay,
This is
cool.
This is the hazing.
Yeah.
We hit you with a bunch of weird shit.
Beautiful.
Yep.
new. And she immediately like flies over to them and goes like, "Oh my god, they're so cute, they're so cute, they're so cute, are we keeping them?"
Esther's
now,
just like,
They're
Esther
gonna be in
whispers,
here.
Ashton, I love you so much. And she like dives into the puppies and you see the the 2 older dogs like sort of like nuzzle her. She's like, "Oh, I love you, buddies." Ah! She's having fun.
Esther's just gonna whisper to Rayla, "We're going to keep them."
He looks over and says, "How's the hippogriff doing?"
No. She like extracts herself from just the mound of fur she has climbed.
He'll like pick her up by the like back of the shirt out of the puppies.
Yep. She goes, "Oh, I'm still asleep. I made it little concoctions with herbs and stuff. It seems to be a bit better, but still giving it honey and the like to make sure it eats."
He'll walk
Not
Is
sure
over,
what's wrong
it
with it.
conscious?
give it another lesser restoration.
Yep, and you do, and doesn't seem much change, but you smooth the feathers on the forehead as you do so.
Are we inside the what's it called?
Ash is.
Yeah, none
Ah,
of us, none
that's
of
why.
the rest of us could float in or fly in. Oh, technically Rosalind.
And you see Pierce coming in with 2 more puppies, and Rayla's like, "Oh my god!" She like wrestles her way out of your fingers and just flies towards them to help out Pierce.
Wait, so who is this?
Ashta is in the vase.
Oh god.
Everybody
And
else
Pyrrhus
is
is the
outside.
dragon.
Pyrrhus is the
Pierce the dragon. And who's melting? Who's the one's like, oh my
Rayla?
god!
Oh, that's Rayla.
You
You
haven't
have
met
not-
You
Rayla
have not
yet.
seen her yet.
You haven't
But
seen
she's
her.
the fairy.
Okay.
Hear her.
Oh, so this is happening in the
Yeah.
base.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you
Yes.
for clarification.
Yes,
Perfect.
Yeah. It's a lamp with way more than a genie in it.
Okay. Yes.
But yeah, so she basically finds a place. She takes some old coats and brings them out and makes a little small place for the puppies. And then she kind of decides against it. Says, should we bring the hippogriff over there or just look out somewhere separate to sit?
Yeah, just in case it wakes up and doesn't know what's going on.
I'm making sure I do the stuff I do for most wild animals when I go to help them, but I don't know how well it's working. I'll turn myself into a baby hippogriff when it wakes up.
Alright.
Try to communicate.
It's appreciated. We might have someone with Fane come check and see if there's anything they can figure out why it's not waking up.
Yeah. Can Aquarius come back in? I think at this point they could probably use the help.
So I suppose so. He'll also look back over to the dad dog and goes, I helped your skin thing before. Does anyone else in this group have that?
So what'd you say?
Some weird stuff. Mom has this funny leg. This one, and he puts a paw on top of one of the kids' heads, and it kind of like rolls under the paw. He says, bit wobbly.
And he'll do lesser restoration on both of them.
Yep. You can tell just from looking at the mom just has like basically a halfway broken leg.
Okay.
But you restoration the
Sorry,
small one.
then could he just kind of heal that, or?
Yeah, you could do like the radiant touch if you want.
Yeah. Healing hands.
And you see it kind of straighten out. And mom kind of like, you see like the dog smile, you know, like retrievers do.
Yep.
And just walk up to you, just like big lick up the face.
And yeah, and then lesser restoration, the wobbly one.
Yep, and you do, and it just keeps on rolling on the ground. It seems to be just playing.
Alright. Yeah, I think he's just wobbly.
That's okay. I love him anyways.
You can get used to here. We'll get you some food in a little bit. In fact, and he'll just like again, like kind of go into his rations and just like hand a couple pieces of beef jerky to Rayla. Ration that out for them if they got hungry again.
Yep. And she kind of nods, and you see her spread her hands, and a few other small, like even for her size, relatively small things to eat appear in front of her.
And he'll go, I'll bring Aquarius in while I have these going. And he puts the wings up.
And you do so, and you feel the wings start to kind of disappear.
Oh, no, he was just kind of, as he gets there, just, Aquarius, come here real quick.
And she nods and just kind of says, "Don't worry, I can get in," and she just dives.
Alright. And then, again, for the new person, you see the wings kind of, like, fade and then shatter into, like, ice. And that kind of, like, fades off and ghostly.
She's muted right now, but
Well, that's a sidetrack we just did.
We're good at those, aren't we?
Seems so.
We're also very good at finding animals.
I'm sensing a trend here.
Well,
We have to
let's,
keep a lid on this.
We can. If we close the vase, they won't be able to breathe.
You know what I mean. Also,
Right, we'll
someone with-
restrain ourselves if we must in the future.
if someone with Fane wants to go in there at one point, see if you can't figure out, one, why the dog can talk, and two, if you can figure out anything with the hippogriff.
I could give it a shot.
It's still
I can
not
just-
awake.
I-
Esther, go ahead and roll animal handling check in that case.
I thought you said it was still not awake.
It is, but you can still
Gorilla.
do how to take care of it.
Okay, doke.
It's also for information on animals.
Okay. You know a little bit about hippogriffs. There's similar beasts in the desert that you might have at least come across. They are highly protective of their young. So, and that's mostly because the young are very vulnerable to mostly anything. They're roughly equivalent to how vulnerable human babies are. Until they reach about age year and a half, where they become about equivalent to a teenager in terms of functionality. Yeah, they eat pretty much whatever you can imagine a bird eats, or a dog or a cat or anything along those lines. And loyal. They make good pets, and even better mounts if you can raise them that way. But it definitely takes time.
And it's still asleep, yeah?
Yeah. When you were in there previously, you know that it's been fighting something. And it's been sleeping for a day or so.
Is it still asleep then?
If you look inside the vase, yeah, looks like it.
Okay. Who's currently in the vase? I know the dogs are,
Aquarius, Rayla, Pyrrhus, and the dogs.
and the
And the hippogriff.
tiny thing.
And the hippogriff, yes.
Yeah.
What's his name again?
Oirik!
Or Oirik.
We have to figure that out in character at some point.
It can be done in the background. It can
Alright.
be done in between thing.
For now, can we take a quick break?
Yeah, I was gonna say actually.
Yeah, because we're probably getting closer to the end.
I was gonna say, yeah, how long are we...
I was basically just saying, like, as you guys kind of figure this out in the alley and get stuff settled, I think just for today we're gonna end it there.
Oh, okay.
On a happy
Okay.
note.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
We start on our way to the princes.
Yeah.
And next week, I'm gonna be home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can actually play this well in a proper time.
Just for the
Yes.
record, before we head to the princes, does this celebration include any kind of music or dance or
Alcohol.
performance?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're supposed to do stuff with the celebration before you went there when we...
We'll
I was
do
supposed
that.
to
We'll do
fight-
that.
I was supposed to
Okay.
pick a fight with the smokestack or something.
I didn't think
Also do that next time.
I diffused
Please.
that for a reason, but okay,
I
fine.
want to see Caius.
But if you want to go
beat the
off and
shit.
do it anyways and get the
I
jump on
want-
him.
Fine.
I want to see Caius beat the shit out of an alcoholic Danny DeVito looking motherfucker.
All right.
Alright.
That's
Yeah, sure. Look at that.
so. I'll see y'all next time. Hello to our new subscribers, you fools.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Sorry,
Or hello.
guys.
Or hello to the Russian bots.
Well,
Oh, hey,
we know
boss.
those exist. Anastasia, if you're still there, call me.
What
That-
the fuck?
What?
That movie
Russian
set in like
bot.
the 20s.
Never mind. Don't worry.
That movie set in like
Oh,
the
fuck.
20s, Conrad.
What the actual flying fuck was that?
Anastasia's dead or a cougar?
Alright, get out of here.
Damn, she be a fucking.
Get out of here.
No, recording.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
okay.
gonna
Yeah.
be recording on pretty much that, I guess.
Alright.
Good.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Till next
Fuck,
time.
okay.
Good night.
Yeah.
Next